Hello, what's up this afternoon? This evening? Whatever. What's up this Thursday, everyone? Welcome. Fine Thursday to y'all. I said that twice this time. Good to see ya. What is up, dude, bro, man, guy? Oddly, Cyberghost, the Great Destroyer. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip for you. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Doug? How are you? Won a game last night with Hilo the Painter. Haven't done much with the deck yet. The precon is pretty gross to start, and Hilo's a really cool commander. Arocalypse, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Di? How are you? Good to see you. Stone Stonks, welcome. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful day. Today, we're going to start off in Modern tonight. I think the plan for tonight, so we're going to start by playing some Orcish Bowmasters Waste Not in Modern. If we end up finishing early, we might jump over to Arena for a bit and see about making a non-budget build of the Turbo Fog deck. A lot of people asked about the Turbo Fog deck. So I think that maybe we do some upgrading of that. If we have time, we'll see. We're going to do a league with this first. Maybe do a little bit upgrading of Turbo Fog. See if we can keep handing out some life lessons. The Sam Fu deck was sweet when you play in Modern 2. Yes, I'm working on a Sam Fu token combo deck for Modern that's coming up in the, hopefully next week. I'm still working on it, but I think it'll be done in time. Ooh, Force the Kills. Orcish Bowmasters is a pretty sweet card. Howling Mine action, eh? I do like the Nykthos plan. Nykthos seems like a good way to make a bunch of mana. Purity of the Abyss for the combo kill. That looks sweet in essence theory. So the plan for today, I mentioned it, starting with some ways not. We should do our reminders first though. LO, the deck with 4 ring is budget. The thing is, so it's budget on Arena. That's the thing that's weird. On Arena, since we were playing in Historic, which is arena-only format, the deck actually is super cheap, but that's just because everything costs the same. Like, on Arena, the 1 ring costs the same as, I don't know, name the worst mythic you can think of. In paper, it's ridiculously expensive, but on Arena, it's the same as Teferi Temporal Pilgrim, a $5 mythic. Doesn't matter, because a mythic's a mythic, essentially. So, that's one of the upsides and downsides of Arena. So, on Arena budget decks, like, the paper price just isn't really relevant. All that really matters is this number, the total number of rares and mythics, because they're all priced the same. So Arena's such a weird economy. What is the upgrade to Turbo Fog? I mean, I think the most obvious upgrade to Turbo Fog is go Bant rather than Simic. You can make it even more miserable with Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. You get to play hard Wrath like Supreme Verdict if you want to, and then you get more hard removal to deal with like the Shieldrids or whatnot, so you don't have to use Witness Protection or whatever. So anyway, hey, what's up, Mother Frogger? How are you? Good to see you. Let's do our reminders. Replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. I've been playing a Pioneer Turbo Fog, but it largely goes 05. Pioneer seems tough. The problem I would see with Pioneer is the most likely format. If you look at all the formats in Magic, I feel like Pioneer is the most likely format. We're going to run into some unbeatable cards. So first, Control is the thing, and Control is just a miserable matchup. The other problem is, I feel like Pioneer is the format where you're most likely to play against Bone Crusher Giant, for one. And also, Shieldred is very popular for 2, and then you sometimes see Questing Beast for 3. Like, Bone Crusher is the literal most played card in the format, and Stomp has that damage prevention clause. Like, Eldraine's such a ridiculously powerful set, but they tacked on for no reason on an already really strong card. Damage can't be prevented this turn, so Bone Crusher just beats us, essentially. I don't know if Questing Beast is in the top 50, because most decks are Mono Green Devotion if you're playing green, but I occasionally see Questing Beast in, like, Rule-style decks. So, yeah, I think Pioneer's a really tough format for Turbo Fog. But anyway, reminders, replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube, we've had some fun videos this week. We had Turbo Fog teaching some Arena Zoomers. We played Nazguls in Modern yesterday for Against Odds. And then tomorrow we're schmeagling for Much Brews. So keep an eye out for that. That's coming up. But there's so much stuff coming up on the YouTube. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, maybe from the Lord of the Rings set, maybe from Commander Masters, which is right around the corner, maybe just a random fetch land to round out your collection, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/FTD Goldfish. Even to get a free goldfish sticker, just let them know you want one in your order notes, and they will hook you up. Speaking of getting Magic cards, one super quick little finance note. So the rumor is, and this is just a behind-the-scenes rumor, but from talking to people who actually like work at card shops, vendors, at big stores, the rumor going around is Wizards is not shipping more Modern Horizons 2 after 2 years of printing it continually. The rumor is you can't reorder them. So the supply of Modern Horizons 2 likely going to start to dry up. Local game stores, from what I've heard at least, are not going to be able to order it anymore. So what this means is, if you need cards from Modern Horizons 2, I would probably wait for Commander Masters just on the off chance that they reprint fetch lands again or something. But once we see what's in Commander Masters, I would lean towards, if you need cards from this set, snagging them now. Because my expectation is, once they stop reprinting Ragavans and the Voke Elementals and the fetch lands and the coffers and all the Commander staples, sort of Hearth and Home, I think we're going to get to see these cards are going to start to increase in price. So yeah, I think from what I've heard, this is like the end. Like the distributors let vendors know, or card shops know, this is the last print run basically. So I think they probably are re-upping around now with their last shipment, and then after that, from my understanding, this is again from just talking to people who work at card shops and whatnot, my understanding is that's going to be the last printing that card shops are going to be able to get a hold of. Otherwise, merch page, tokens, t-shirts, playmats, going to support the stream and the channel and the site. Donations always appreciated, never required. $2 or more gets your message read on stream. Anyway, what is our deck today? We're starting off with Orcish Bowmasters Waste Not. So I love Waste Not. Waste Not is one of the coolest cards, I think, in my opinion, that's ever been designed. Probably because it was designed by us, the Magic community, back when Wizards did a weird you design the card thing. But Waste Not, oh, it's such an amazingly cool card. Hey, what's up, Duke Silver? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. My fish is bad for the 27th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. One ring or another. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. One ring or another. Very good, very good. So Waste Not's one of the coolest cards of all time, but Waste Not has one huge problem, which is there isn't really another Waste Not. Like, that's the big issue with Waste Not. If you build a Waste Not deck, the games where you draw Waste Not tend to go really good and they're really sweet. But if you don't draw Waste Not, then your deck is not really doing much of anything cool. So the challenge of a Waste Not card or deck is always, what's the backup? What happens when I don't draw Waste Not? And we might have found the answer in the Lord of the Rings set in Orcish Bowmasters. So Orcish Bowmasters, it's not exactly the same as Waste Not. Waste Not, when our opponent discards a card, we get value. Orcish Bowmaster punishes our opponent for drawing cards outside of the first one they draw each turn. The idea is they kind of care about the same thing, because Waste Not, the way you trigger Waste Not, your opponent has to have cards in hand to be able to discard them. So stuff like Burning Inquiry that makes each player draw and discard, stuff like Gaia Reach Sanitarium that makes each player draw and discard, is a way that you can keep triggering your Waste Not even when your opponent's empty-handed. So the idea is we have Orcish Bowmasters and Waste Not. We can stack these up on the battlefield, hopefully have both of them. Worst case, if we can have one or another, have a little bit more consistency, and then force our opponent to draw cards and discard cards with Burning Inquiry, force them to discard to Liliana's, force them to discard to Gaia Reach Sanitarium, and hopefully just overwhelm our opponent with Bowmaster Waste Not value. So that's the goal. It's pretty simple. Play the 2-drops, make our opponent draw cards, make him discard cards. Hopefully that leads to winning. Why do we only have one Sanitarium? Isn't that one of our best cards? So it is a really good card. The challenge is we're only playing 20 lands. I mean, I could see going up another copy. The challenge is, are we gonna end up too clunky? Let's add another one though. The challenge is we're only playing 20 lands, and we do need our colored mana to really be able to cast our spells. So we can't go super deep on it, especially since it's legendary and we only have one on the battlefield. I really want to try this Mount Doom just because it's funny. So I don't want to cut the Mount Doom. I don't know. It's probably going to be absolutely horrible. I expect it to be absolutely horrible, but it'd be really sweet if we can like sack a Mox Amber, Wrath Your Board, get you or whatever. So I want to keep the Mount Doom. I guess we can just cut a fetch. That might be, that's kind of sketchy, but whatever. We'll cut a fetch and play 2 Gaia Reaches. Russ Publica, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank ya. What is Friendly Modern League? Is that a new thing? Amber seemed like they should be lands. Well, we're about to find out. We're about to find out. Insta-mill for against odds. Ooh, let me see. Let me see. Yeah, Burvac Teresium Mindbreaker. We played a Budget Magic version of that combo. Actually can close out the game pretty well. I was impressed with how effective it was, actually. That looks sweet. Where are your 4 copies of the One Ring? No modern deck without 4 copies. I don't even have them. That's the One Ring is still kind of an issue. It's so expensive. It's so expensive. What do you think of Teferi, the One Ring, Shieldred, and Watcher on the water combo? Wait, Teferi, the One Ring, Shieldred, and Watcher. I'm so confused. Is there a combo in there? So Shieldred and One Ring minimizes the life loss, so that makes sense. Teferi, I guess, just to protect things. But what does Watcher in the water do? Does Watcher in the water do anything specific? Oh, so try to like draw during your opponent's turn to make the tentacles. I mean, it sounds funny. I would be surprised. That's a lot of... So, the good news is... Stream mode achieved. The good news is... Shieldred... Oh my god, after all that, I closed it. The good news is... Shieldred plus the One Ring is kind of ridiculous. Wow, we got Waste-Not and Bowmasters. We will keep. The good news is Shieldred One Ring's already really good. So... you already got a strong shell to start from. Does adding Watcher in the water make the deck stronger? I would be surprised if that was actually like an optimal thing to do, but it does sound like a fun thing to do. So I could get behind the spice level of it, even if it maybe wasn't the like most competitive. I think we just run out Waste-Not first. Our opponents also Rakdos. Watch them. Oh no, oh no. Bunihana is actually like a very good Magic Online player, like one of the best. We are probably about to get smacked by a really good player. All right, deck, show us nothing. Yeah, let's just pass for now. We could run out the Kroxa and get a Waste-Not trigger and try to hit a land. Maybe that's better. I think we just want a Bowmasters. Let's Bowmasters first. Wish they would bring Modern to Arena. Difficult to follow along with whatever this is. I wish they'd bring Pioneer to Arena. Did you see? So they announced, we didn't really talk about this, opponents going to Bowmasters. They will ping us. In response to their Bowmasters, we will Bowmasters. And ping their Bowmasters. And not looking bad. Not looking bad. We dropped to 19, but we have the Bowmasters, we have the Waste-Not. If we draw a Burning Inquiry, we about to do some serious work. Did you see the new anthologies? They announced the new like Historic and Explorer anthologies. We get the rest of the spoilers in a couple days. So far, we're playing some Modern at the moment. So far, most of the cards seem like Historic Brawl cards. Oh, Lightning Bolt. Well, all right. The correct thing to do is probably just leave up our interaction. Let's go to combat. I'm very tempted to Kroxa, but it's probably better just to leave up ways to kill stuff because our opponent can have more Bowmasters. Oh yeah, Bowmasters ETB too. Bowmasters kind of busted. Well, go attacking. We'll see what our opponent does. See if they have another Bowmaster. They do. So Bowmaster to kill our Bowmaster. That is a lot of Bowmasters. Well, let's... Fatal push the Bowmaster. Opponent amasses, takes 1. The Battle of the No Land Draws. Pony has out Bowmastered us, but off to work, my man. Thanks for the insight. Looking forward to your next video. As always, brother, have a good night. Hey, have a good work, Duke Silver. Hey, Seth, love your content. First time seeing you live. Keep up the good work. Hey, Green Penguin, thank you so much. Opponent going to grief us. Okay. Sure. So far, we have not managed to trigger our Waste-Not even once. I mean, we have the Lightning Bolt, so if they try to do the grief shenanigans, at least we can bolt it. Inspired by your Kenrith deck from Commander Clash, I built Sharky deck that forces choices. Care to take a look? Hey, love to see it, Shark Boy Supreme. All right, opponent. I mean, we gotta go for, if they have 2 Undying Malices, and I guess they get us. Alright. So we bolt it. Grief down for now. Opponent gets in, hits us. Can we draw Burning Inquiry? That would be sweet. We do it on our land. Well, 1, 2. I think we play Croxa, make you discard. Finally trigger our Waste Not. Opponent. What are we discarding? Season Pyro. So we get a zombie. Croxa down. Play the land, hit you with the dork. Pass the turn. Sharky is an interesting commander. My concern with Sharky is I think it's really going to annoy people. I don't think it's especially strong. It's just really annoying. So I feel like it's going to die way more often than it really should based on its power level, just because people are not going to want to play against it. It's a cool idea, though. I like the idea of a Sharky deck. And this looks like he has a lot of powerful cards, which, if you're going to play Sharky, I think you gotta go pretty high powered just to, like, back up the hate that I think it's going to draw. But yeah, that looks sweet. How was everyone's holiday weekend? Anyone? I mean, I guess in the US it was a holiday weekend. Did anyone do anything cool? Hey, what's up, Dandy Floss? How are you? Boy, imagine if we could also get a Shielder down the battlefield, which apparently never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Yeah, maybe those Mox Ambers should be lands. Opponent. People get annoyed by whatever doesn't fancy them. That's what I've learned about playing Commander. I think that's true to an extent, but people get more people get annoyed by cards that don't let their deck do its thing. And I think Sharky just being like, you can't crack your fetch lands or whatever, is something that a lot of people are going to get annoyed by. Do we even attack? If they have a 3rd Bowmasters, we get kind of blown out. I mean, I guess we can just stay on defense. That sounds like horrible. If you got 3rd Bowmasters, I guess you get us. Drestafara, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop for you. Thank you. All right, no 3rd Bowmaster, so that's good. A land to get back Croxa would be something. Opponent. Yeah, 3 mana doesn't even exist for our opponent. We have the Battle of the No Land Draws. Opponent. Mountain. And Fable the Mirror Breaker. Not great. Not great. Although, how much will they possibly discard with Waste Not out? Probably not too much. Can we draw land? Well, okay, no. But we can draw Burning Inquiry, which is pretty sweet with Waste Not. Each player draw 3. Discard 3 at random. We get... Wow. Our opponent discarded a bunch of lands. We will play a Shieldred. We will hit you. Okay, that was very odd that we drew and discarded 3 cards and had both Shieldred still. I don't even know if that's possible, but I guess we'll take it. Opponent, would you like to loot with your Fable of the Mirror Breaker? Is Black Red the new Black Reed? I think it might be. I was talking to Richard. Richard is like the Jund aficionado of Goldfish. And I was talking to Richard earlier today, and he was talking about how he was having a hard time figuring out a reason to play the green cards. Like, what's the reason to play the green cards? Why not just be Rakdos, essentially? All right, opponent does some discarding. We get to draw a card. We get to make some mana. Fatal Push. Okay. Still don't have many lands. Well, all right. Thought sees you. Opponent. What do you got? I mean, the Waste Not's doing work. It is doing work. Hey, Seth, your Nazgul against odds was great. However, I think it'll work better in Historic. I've made a deck, and it's going really well. Here's the list. Call the Ring, Collected Company, Nazguls. Yeah, I mean, I was very impressed with... I mean, I guess we just take the Grief and make a zombie. I think we're still, like, sort of okay with our opponent casting a Seasoned Pyromancer, because hopefully it means we're getting Waste Not triggers. If we can ever draw a land, we're kind of in business. Or another Burning Inquiry, but get in it, yeah. Yeah, I think Historic is a good place for it. The power of Coco Nazgul is actually pretty good. Hey, what's up, MS Mall? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, what's up, Chicken Guy? You're almost on time. We just in our first game playing some Waste Not Orcish Bowmasters. Do you think Dream of Steel and Oil may see more play in sideboards now? Who in what format? So Dream of. Yeah, I guess we just passed. So Dream hits what? Artifact or creature? That's a Thoughtseize, but only for artifact or creatures. Bonnet. Gonna flip the Fable of the Mia Breaker. Let's see if they Season Pyromancer and give us Waste Not value. Played against this deck yesterday, very cool idea. I've always loved Waste Not. We were talking about this a little bit in the intro. Like, Waste Not is one of my favorite cards, but the traditional Waste Not problem is, if you don't have a Waste Not, your deck does nothing. So, Orcish Bowmasters might be like the backup? Like, the backup Waste Not? That's the idea anyway. We'll see if it works. How do you feel about arena animations? I love the absolute Yu-Gi-Oh-ness of them, and I wish they would do more, but I understand people might dislike them. Also, do you think they'll make a return? Wow, they're just running it out. Okay, this is fine with us. Thank you very much for the Waste Not value. No option to say no. You just have to discard and draw. We get to draw 2. Oh my goodness, this Waste Not's going off. The Waste Not's going off. Thoughtseize and Kroxa. Okay, opponent plays a land, and still no land for us, though. We're still stuck on lands. Wow, it's a Burning Inquiry, though. That is a Burning Inquiry. All right, how do we want to do this? I wish we could kill the... Wow, this is interesting. This is really interesting. Animations on Arena are funny. When Arena was first announced, my feeling was I couldn't care less about animations. That was my initial take. Like, I just really don't care. After seeing some of the best animations, I actually started to like them. And then I ended up being disappointed. That we didn't get more of them. So yes, I wish they would come back. I don't know why they, well, I do know why, I think they stopped because it's expensive, probably, and they just don't want to spend the money on it. In the quest for profits, the same reason Ragavan exists. I was thinking about that today. Like, what do you think was going on in people's minds when they designed Ragavan? And the best I can come up with, it's like, you remember DuckTales or whatever? Like, Scrooge McDuck, like, swimming in the swimming pool of money, like just the gold coins. I imagine, like, when someone pitched Ragavan, that image, like, just Scrooge McDuck swimming in the pool of money. I imagine that's what was in everyone's head. It wasn't like, modern or whatever, legacy. It was just like a big swimming pool of money to swim in. Opponent. Blocks and blocks. I mean, I was hoping that this would happen. This is the best case. So opponent blocks, they kill one of our dorks. That's fine. But we get to Fatal Push to get rid of the Reflection, which is a potential problem. Burning Inquiry to get some Waste Not triggers. And, well, there's all of our lands. We do get to draw some cards, I guess. Wait, what did our opponent reveal? It was a... Wait, they still have the swamp? They discarded Blood Crypt Terminate. Okay. They discarded Blood Crypt and Terminate and still have the swamp in hand and Duthi Voidwalker. All right, well, I guess we're not thought seizing then if that's our opponent's hand. All right, I think we're in good shape. I think we're in a good spot. We have a raid, System Magic. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you for the raid, System Magic. How was your stream, opponent? Gonna cause us a little bit of grief. This also means they don't have anything in hand to discard awkwardly. Opponent. Good news is we do get to get a Kroxa back, even if it's not triggering Waste Not. Gaia Reach Sanitarium would be sweet. That would be a sweet draw. Burning Inquiry is always a sweet draw in this deck. Once we get the Waste Not down. But Kroxa probably just does it. Is it you that makes the How to Use Moto YouTube video? That is me, Wiz. Have you watched it? Do you have any? If you ever have any questions about that, feel free to ask. Ooh, Bowmasters 2. Well, 1, 2. I think we just get down. I think we just get down to Croxa. Croxa's a pretty quick clock here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Croxa hit you to 7. Nothing to discard. Yeah, burning. Oh, remember when Hollow One took off? Did I love Hollow One? Hollow One with Burning Increase and Goblin Lore. That was one of the sweetest decks when that first came out. Denivar! Welcome to the Fishbowl. I feel like... when was the last time we had a deck like that emerge? For some reason, I'm sure this isn't true. I'm sure it's just me misremembering or like have biases in my brain. But I feel like every time new decks emerge in Modern, they're just like grindy Obnath piles or whatever. That's like the new decks. Who adds more food? Okay, that's a good argument. We need a new Lantern Control. We need a deck like that. We need a new Lantern Control, a new Amulet Titan, a deck that's been like floating around in the meta for years and years and no one's figured it out. Those are always the coolest decks. When that, right, or Death Shadow was another card that like it existed forever, but people just didn't actually make it work. Denivar, and also, oh boy, Shalokino. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. I mean, we all pulled the One Ring, right? Technically. The One Ring is the friends we made along the way. Attack you. Opponent. How do you feel about some zombie beats? Wow, gonna block with the Grief. Does not care, cashing it in, down to 4. And I think we might be good. Opponent needs a huge draw, untaps, and scoops it up. Okay. Wow. All right, we actually pulled it off somehow. Asbo food with Faithless would be bonkers. I actually wonder, could we unban Faithless looting? I'm so on the fence. I'm so on the fence as to whether we could unban it. When I think of just Faithless looting the card, I immediately think, oh, of course we should unban that. Like, yes, obviously it should be unbanned. However, when I look at the Modern metagame and I see like, Murktide, top tier, wants to fill the graveyard, wants to cast cheap spells, then I'm a little bit like, maybe in the current meta. It's kind of the same thing, like whenever Ponder or Preordain comes up, my gut reaction is, yes, we should unban at least one of them. But then when I think about Murktide being at the top of the meta, I'm like, do I really want to play against Murktide with the option to play like Preordain or Ponder? Like, is that actually good for the format overall? And then I'm like, I don't know if we actually want it. Punishing Fire should definitely be unbanned. I would agree with the problem is it's going to push small creature decks out of the format, but I think like that at this point that feels silly to me. The small creature decks are like they're doing all right and they're killing really quick. Like, does Hammer Time really care if you have Punishing Fire? Like, sure, if you somehow survive to the late game, you could potentially kind of like lock them out of the game. But they're probably killing you before your 2-mana shock or repeatable 3-mana shock that gains them life is actually coming online. So I would also like to at least try it. He said, mind checking out this deck I made, Demon Reanimator Surprise. Reanimating 15 flying power as early as turn 3. Ooh, that sounds spicy. Yes, let me actually bring in sideboard cards and then I will check it out. What do we want to bring in against this deck? So opponent's just like Rakdos, just Rakdos. Nothing fancy. Playing Rakdos. What do we cut? Brotherhood End. Could be okay. We need a removal. Chalice, probably not worth it. Leyline. Do we run it back? Is there actually an argument for just running it back and not changing anything? There actually might be an argument to just running it back and not really changing anything. Let's try a Force of Despair. Let's run it like that. Minimal changes. Surprise Dredgeless Reanimator. Affinity to Squirtle for that 22nd month. Hope all has been well. Off to golfing. Looking forward to the VOD. Keep up being your amazing stuff. Well, Affinity, have fun golfing. I went golfing this year. It was fun, I guess. I'm not a great golfer, but I occasionally go with my brothers just as a way to like hang out with people for the morning. So it's usually fun. Like the excuse to hang out for a few hours is the enjoyable part. Not the hitting the ball into the woods or like duffing it or whatever. Ooh, how are we getting all the flying power though? I'm so confused. Let's see. Biogriff. Oh, prized amalgam. Oh, we're reanimating. I see. Can get back the Archfiend. Yeah, Archfiend's Vessel. They had its brief moment in the sun with Luris. Yeah, that looks sweet. That's a cool synergistic graveyard deck. Biogruff is a cool addition. That's a card that I have not seen see play much. Well, we're gonna keep this. We're on the draw, which is kind of bad because we get Thoughtseize first, but I don't know about this Mox Amber plan. When I was looking at deck lists for people that were playing similar decks, they were all playing Mox Ambers. I don't know if I'm sold on the Mox Amber thing. I don't know. What is the upside of this? Like, so I guess the idea is you like Rockavon into Lightning Bolt or something. Like, just Modern's fast. It speeds up the deck a little bit, but it seems kind of inconsistent. Almost broke 100 for the first time recently. Nice trying to get into shape. Ooh, congratulations. I mean, that is one of the cool things about golf, I think, as a sport, is, I mean, it is for second to Mount Doom, but we only have one Mount Doom. So I don't know if that's worth playing 2 Mox Ambers for. One of the cool things about golf is it's a really good sport to play against yourself. That's I think, one of my favorite parts of it. Like, it doesn't have to be about beating other people. It's more about, like, self-improvement. Like, can I do better than I did last time? And no matter how good or bad you are, like, you can be the worst golfer ever, you can be like a pro level golfer, no matter how good or bad you are. Ugh. Wow. Opponent's just going for it, and it might work. No matter how good or bad you are, you can always do that. Jeez. Okay. So, how do we not lose to a Fury on turn 1? Opponents they just ran. Oh, that's a possibility if we can get to it. If we can get to it. Liliana could answer. Well, Blackleaf Cliffs. Thoughtseize you. I guess we can chump it with Bowmasters for a couple turns. Take the Bowmasters. I mean, this is what our opponent's got. This is it. That is all. Can we beat a Fury? 1 card in hand. Opponent on turn 1 is going to have 2 lands in a Fury. That is unfortunately a 4/4. Gets and hits us. We are not good at drawing lands, though. That's the problem. We dropped to 10. This is a really fast clock. Oh, another Liliana. Okay. Play the land past the turn. Oh, no. I don't think we're going to get to it. I think we're going to die to this Fury. I think our opponent's Jink him out turn 1 plan is going to work. What a format. What a format. Can someone explain why Bowmasters is $40? It's one of the most competitive cards from the Lord of the Rings set, basically. Opponent goes to combat attacks. Well, I mean, the question's basically going to be, do we actually draw a land here? If we do draw land and play Liliana, our life is hopefully pretty good. Otherwise, things are looking bad. Opponent passes. Land. Oh my god, we drew it. Oh my god, we drew it. Okay, now I'm feeling pretty good. Liliana. Take it down. Please don't have another one. Oh! Okay. Wow. Wait, what are we getting punished for? Yeah, I mean, get scammed. That is the goal of our opponent's deck. The goal is to not play Magic, mostly. Can I not play Magic? What commander would you pick for Nazgul's I'm still not sure Leyline of the Void's worth it. I'm not sold on Leyline being worth it. Why not use the Mox Amber for Liliana? I mean, it wouldn't have really mattered, right? If the Fury was lightning boltable, then it would have mattered, but the fact that it was a 4/4 means it just didn't matter. The problem is we can't really put Chalice on one. Our deck needs access to Chalice. So I don't think we can afford to play Chalice on one. This will be interesting. We got the Gaia Reach. We'll see how punished we are for playing two colorless lands. It's gonna hurt here. Also gonna hurt here. And also, oh boy, it might hurt a lot. If we don't draw another land, we might lose because of this Gaia Reach. On the other hand, Gaia Reach with Waste Knot is very good. Opponent. Well, and we're dead. Well, so our opponent takes the Lightning Bolt. They take the Lightning Bolt so then they can do their scam thing. And then they get another Grief and take, who knows, Waste Not, Terminate. There's a bunch of options. So there's the Bolt. There's the scam. Gets back the Grief. I'm not very confident at this point. Getting double Thought Seized and this Gaia Reach means we're in a pretty sketchy spot. Well, all right, opponent passes. We draw a Waste Knot. Well, okay. Blood Crypt, untap, Gaia Reach. Oh no. Who made me put in the second Gaia Reach? If we lose this game, for some reason I'm getting the vibe that you're in love with Evoke Elementals in Modern. I mean, Modern Horizons 2, I think, was not a overall set that I think was a positive for Modern. Well, all right. Let's play Waste Not. If we ever make our opponent discard a card, look out. It could be sweet. Actually, the Evoke Elementals, so I think a lot of Modern Horizons 2, the top end of Modern Horizons 2, I think was a bad thing for the format. I think that Scam in specific is just a very obnoxious archetype. Like, it's just a very annoying deck. It's super inconsistent. If it high rolls, it's basically unbeatable. But if it has to play a normal game of Magic, it's really bad. So I think it's just like a very obnoxious archetype overall. It's kind of like, it's one of those meme archetypes, kind of like Calibrated Blast or something. One of those style of decks where it's just like, you're going to the casino, you're hoping to high roll. If you high roll, it's great. If you don't high roll, it's too bad. And yeah, we're just dead, right? Well, I guess, actually no, so I think we lost because of Gaia Reach. So I think we're seeing an example. There was a question about why aren't we playing more Gaia Reaches? I think we are seeing the reason why we can't afford to play that many Gaia Reaches. Our deck has some pretty heavy color requirements, and like not being able to trigger Waste Knots with our Croxas because of colorless lands is actually kind of just game losing in that situation. And more Gaia Reaches. Talia, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scripture for you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Gaia Reach in Mono Black. I'm a big fan of it in Pioneer and in like Historic on Arena. In Modern, I think it's a bit slow. It gets Blood Mooned, and your color requirements are a lot more strict because you're often two colors rather than Mono Black. I think it's an okay one of. I like it as a one of, but I think it's a tough card to play more than one of because, as we saw there, like you end up losing to it. Like the late game, you make it to the late game and it does its thing with Waste Knot. It's really cool, but Modern is so fast that amount of times that you get to the late game and do that thing, I think is less than the amount of times you lose because your 20 land deck doesn't draw a colored source. Why not board in Leyline? Starting that with Ho Scam, no. I mean, so it can slow down the scam start. That's true. It's also just doesn't really do much against the anything else. I think that just answering the scam creature is the best plan. I think that's the easiest way. It's one of those things, it reminds me, so my thinking, and maybe it's wrong, but my thinking is it's like, when you're playing the burn deck, and you bring in your Rest in Peace against the graveyard deck, and then you lose because you drew 2 Rest in Pieces, and you end up 3 damage short or whatever, when if it was just a lightning bolt, you would have won. I worry that it's kind of that scenario. That I think you're adding a dead card to your deck to do a very specific thing. And if you don't have it on turn 1, or your opponent doesn't have the scam draw, then you're making your deck worse for minimal benefit. Well, I mean, this is a very fair hand. We don't have any payoffs. We do have a bunch of removal, which is, I guess, good. Why is the deck list called Scam? because of how it plays, actually. Like, it doesn't play a real game of Magic. It just attempts to scam the opponent out of winning by playing a Invoke Elemental and saving it with a 1-mana spell on turn 1. So it's a reference to its play pattern more than anything. Well, I guess we killed the Delighted Halfling. Ooh, this might be a One Ring deck. Actually, it's probably Yawgmoth, most likely. Play the land, pass the turn. Opponent. Wall of Roots. All right, so opponent's definitely Yawgmothing. Wow, there's like a wild downpour and thunderstorm going on now. If I suddenly disappear, it's because this wind and rain knocked out my power. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But if that does happen, you know why. This is where Gaia... Actually, no, Gaia Reach might still be bad. I was going to say this is where Gaia Reach could be good, but... However, we do have this Kroxa. How do we do this? So if they have Yogg here, it's kind of bad. The question is, do we Kroxa? Probably not. Let's just play Black Cleave Cliffs. Pass the turn. We need a payoff. We need a Waste Knot or a Bowmasters. What do you think about fixing one wing, saying it can't cast it if you have another one in the graveyard around the battlefield? I mean, that would be a fix. Opponent goes to combat, attacks. I don't know how they handle the One Ring. It's such a weird situation. I have a question for you. Do you think the One Ring was... This is something I've been puzzling over. Do you think the One Ring was intentionally overpowered? Well, there's a Waste Knot. Well, play the land. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Do we just go for it? We can Waste Knot. Well, we're definitely playing Waste Knot. Play the Waste Knot. Do we play the Kroxa, though? Probably not. I'm so worried. On the other hand, though, if they had Yogg, they would have played it, right? Like, if you had Yogg, why would you not run it out? But they didn't do anything. What is our opponent's hand if it's not... What could possibly be in our opponent's hand? Yeah, it would be super risky. So here's my question. Do you think that Wizards... Someone asked me this, and I've been thinking on it. Do you think that Wizards knew that the One Ring was as strong as it was? And just printed it that way anyway, because they knew that there was the ban window. The ban window coming up in August. Do you think they just intentionally printed it, being like, worst case we can just take and nerf it anyway, or ban it anyway, so what's it matter? So Court for Apatra. So this means they do go infinite if they have Yogg. Opponent. opponent. Wait. Oh, Yogg, but they're mistapping? I think it's Yogg, but they mistapped. So... Opponent. Okay, let's think about this. So, they play Yogg. Hapatra, Yogg, Young Wolf go infinite. We can kill the Hapatra, but then they still have Yogg. If we wait... Oh, waiting's kind of risky, right? So, if this green mana floating, if they play another Young Wolf... Then we're in this awkward position where we try to kill Yogg and then combo with it on the stack. What is the best way to stop this? I'm tempted to just kill the Hapatra. Like, if we kill the Hapatra, it's going to be hard to die, right? I think we kill Hapatra. But I think we have to do it with... Man, killing Yogg is so much better, though. We wait until they sack the Young Wolf and then just kill it. All right, let's wait. Please not another Young Wolf. Another Young Wolf and I think we are dead. If that green mana is another Young Wolf. All right, opponent sacks. Well, this is the window to kill the Yogg. So terminate Yogg. Oh, okay. I think we dodged. I think we dodged the full disaster. Opponent can sack some stuff to draw cards if they want, whatever. Sacks the Walroots. Yep. Makes a dork. Counter on a Patra. Makes a snake. So opponent's going to draw a few cards, but we dealt with their board, which is a big deal. Opponent. Well, I guess we played that right. The fact that you can legendary your One Ring after drawing another one and prevent dying to damage is where it really messed up. Yeah, I mean, that's really, really tough, though, because at the same time, how do you print the ring from the Lord of the Rings and not have it be legendary? I feel like that's one of those cases where it's like, the flavor and Vorthos aspects of the card really fights against the best thing for the playability of the card, if that makes sense. Like, from a gameplay perspective, I think the One Ring would be way better, way more flavorful if it was not legendary, because then there would actually be much more of a risk of dying to it. Like, it actually would be painful. At the same time, if you didn't make it legendary, from a flavor perspective, that would be super awkward. So I can see why they did it that way. Opponent gets in with Hapatra. Puts a counter on the Young Wolf. Makes a snake while Hapatra's going off. Going off. We draw Bowmasters. Well, in that case, let's... Orcish Bowmasters. Kill the Hapatra. Out of here. Pass the turn. If we never get our opponent out of cards, then we can start triggering Waste Not. Someone mentioned it giving you the player some sort of counter that would be counted by all copies. Yeah, that would be interesting. If the burden counters were like energy counters or something where they stuck with you through different copies, that would actually be pretty interesting. I almost wonder if it could be restricted. They've never done that before outside of Vintage. They've never restricted cards, so it would be precedent setting. At the same time, that does seem like one of the best solutions. Well, let's get in with the Orc, see what our opponent does. This is where Gaia Reach might actually be pretty good. We can Gaia Reach to trigger Bowmasters and Waste Not. All right, hit you to 15. Pass the turn. Opponent. Do you have a Court of Calling? Court of Calling's a little scary. Oh, they do. Okay, so opponent's going to get another Yogg. Now what? All right, Chord for Yogg. So we will... loot with Gaia Reach. Discard Croxa. Snipe the snake token. Make a zombie. So opponent gets Yogg, but then we kill the Yogg. So far, this is a matchup where Leyline's going to be good. And then we terminate Yogg. Well, 2 Yogg's down. We're fighting the good fight. Do you think people's worries of playing Gandalf in Modern have kind of materialized? The IP is diluted. I mean, so I don't know if this is a popular take or not. For me, I think the Lord of the Rings set is so magic-y, if that makes any amount of sense. It's so magic-y that, to me, it feels like a very natural fit for Magic. So I would say no. To me, it doesn't feel like it's diluting the IP or any of that stuff. If it was Fortnite or something that was like, the flavor of it and the art of it was further away from Magic, then I could maybe see it. Like if that was the case, then I could maybe see it. But I feel like Lord of the Rings is just so magic, so high fantasy. I don't know. Like if you change the name down the cards, couldn't it just be a Magic set? Like, I guess you'd have to change the ring temptation mechanic. Like, if you change some of the words, though, the flavor, the art, all of that stuff, isn't it pretty magic-y? To me, it feels magic-y, so magic-y that I think it actually feels pretty fine. Whew, okay, now what? So the success of Lord of the Rings dilutes because they're going to make more of them. Do you think they will? Do you think they will take in... do you think they would take in actually make a set? Like, I think they'll make more universes beyond, but do you think they make Fortnite, like, tournament legal? I don't know if they would. I guess Bolt is somewhat helpful. Yeah, let's run out Shieldred, I think. What is the other option? We can get back... Actually, Kolaghan's Command might be better. Yeah, let's pass. So, Shieldred's fine. I like the idea of Kolaghan's Command, trigger Waste Not, get back Orcish Bowmasters, play Orcish Bowmasters. Plus, this leaves up the possibility that if they have another Yogg, we can Kolaghan's Command bolt it to get rid of it. Really? Is this chord number 3? Opponents all about those Court of Callings. Do you feel like Harry Potter Universe Beyond would feel the same, but as Lord of the Rings does because of the magic aspect? I am the worst person to ask about Harry Potter. I've never watched a Harry Potter movie. I've never read a Harry Potter book. I don't know. What do the rest of you think? Discounting the fact that... Yeah, opponent managed to do it again. Discounting the fact that I don't think they'd ever do it because of other non-magic reasons. I don't think there'll ever be a Harry Potter set. Like, assuming that wasn't an issue and none of that stuff mattered, like, how would it fit flavor-wise? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the issue. Like, there's too much controversy surrounding it for them to actually make it at this point, so I don't think they'd actually do it. But how would the flavor line up? For someone like me who... I never watched Harry Potter. Like, I know a lot of people have super nostalgic, like, that's what I grew up on. That was the series that I watched. Like, that was a big thing. Like, Would it actually fit in Magic? I think Harry Potter would be a mistake for them to do. I think they lose a lot of people for a while. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think they would ever do it at this point for those reasons. It's basically just Strixhaven. I don't know. I think that there was going to be a Harry Potter Universes Beyond release with Strixhaven, but they ended up pulling the plug because of some of the controversy and issues surrounding it. Johnny Cycles. I don't think that's confirmed, but I've heard things like that before, so I think it's definitely a possibility at least. Johnny Cycles, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. So let's see. You discard a card. We deal 2 damage to your. Actually, is discarding a card even worth it? How many Yogs can they possibly draw? All right, you discard a card, 2 damage to Yogg. Trigger the Waste Knot. Opponent can't go infinite, but they can do a bunch of sacking to draw a bunch of cards. Opponent. So we get a zombie, and then bolt the Yogg. All right, well, we have slogged our way through triple Yogg. Let's see how much card drawing our opponent does. So they can, like, sack the Wall of Roots, counter on this, sack this. Yep. I mean, in theory, the Shieldred comes down and pretty much locks things up, I think. Opponent sacks, draws a card. Down to 8. Opponent's been very good at drawing Yogs. I mean, part of Yogs is they beget more Yogs because you get to keep drawing cards. Come on, opponent. How about 1 turn without a Yogg? How do you feel about not drawing a Yogg for once in your life? Opponent sacking the Peat Land. Opponent, Young Wolf. Opponent. Oh, please not Yogg. Please not Yogg. Please not Yogg. Please not Yogg. Hey, Seth, I already wasted 1,000 points on post ignoreds. Could you search it? Oh, I'm sorry, Dion. I didn't even notice it. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find it. Opponent is a Blood Artist and passes. Was that tonight that you posted things? I have a better idea. I'm paying attention. Why don't you post? Can you just post? You don't have to use any points or anything, but Dion, can you just post your comment again and I'll look at it? Oh, let me see, dog. All right, thank you. How do we do this? So Yogg is a concern. We have a Crocs. Opponent has 2 cards in hand. Well, first step, go to combat, swing with the team. See what our opponent does. Opponent blocks. Drops to 4, up to 5. So opponent basically needs, like, Fatal Push? They need, like, Fatal Push Yogg, I think. We might be good. We gotta go for it. Well, Shieldred. And pass the turn. Come on. No Fatal Pushing. No Yogging. Sacks the Peatland. Drops to 3. The thing is, they can't combo off enough with this Shieldred out, right? Like, they can't draw the cards, or Shieldred will kill them. Opponent down to 1. Hold. Shieldred is actually the good guy at this point. Opponent, Colony Garden. Seth, after taking my time, I thought you should give Shared Fate another chance. This time on a control build like this. The 1 ring. Actually, that doesn't matter, right? Shieldred doesn't target, so our opponent still just dies. The One Ring busted, but not not that busted. Did you see the friendly modern leagues? They are 50 play points for 2-3 rewards. So I did. Has anyone actually played them? So I tried a friendly league just to see. And I sat there for 3 or 4 minutes without any matches firing, and then I dropped and went back to a normal league. Has anyone actually played the friendly leagues yet? I'm actually curious if you've had a better experience, because I only tried it that once, and maybe I was just playing it a low playtime, which is kind of normal for me, that I'm up and playing Magic at 6 a.m. or something when no one else is playing. So maybe I just pick the worst possible time to try it. But the idea of it's cool. I like the idea of there being a cheaper league that pays out flatter, doesn't just give all the points to the person that ends up getting first. So I hope that they're successful. All right, let's see this Shared Fate deck. Ooh, some Shared Fate Control, eh? Ooh, that kind of reminds me of a bit of some of the old versions of Shared Fate. I think the first time we played Shared Fate, it was a control deck. The lock with Drannith Magistrate's cool. That's definitely a cool synergy. It kind of takes away from the meme of letting your opponent play a useless deck, I guess, to some extent, but I do like how it forms a hard lock. I wonder about Teferi. Couldn't your opponent play Teferi and then break out of the lock? I wonder if that would be a concern. That's always the challenge with Shared Fate, but that looks super sweet. I like some of the janky suspend and if you can keep a Drannith Magistrate on the battlefield, or a Teferi, I guess, on the battlefield, those cards become really good. So I like the spice level for sure. That looks sweet. All right, what are we taking out before we run out of time? Fury seems good. Leyline seems necessary. What can we cut? We can cut the Turox. Liliana's kind of hit or miss. Actually, I don't even know if Ragavan. Maybe we go down a couple Ragavans. Yeah, let's try it like that. Oh, okay, chat. Weigh in on this opinion. I'm curious. Okay, here's the hot take. Lord of the Rings is just bad Game of Thrones. How do you feel about that opinion? Is that an incorrect hot take or just the truth? Because I kind of feel I don't know. I enjoyed, obviously, so the ending of Game of Thrones was really bad. Personally, I enjoyed watching Game of Thrones way more than watching Lord of the Rings. Opponent, Overgrow Tube. So Leyline's actually pretty good in this matchup because it does just straight up, as long as it's on the battlefield, it straight up shuts down our opponent's combo. They cannot do their thing as long as Leyline lives. Bad take, completely different. Oh boy. Game of Thrones is more realistic Lord of the Rings. I mean, the last couple of seasons were not good, but the first 6-ish seasons were really good. I mean, the last season of Lord of the Rings was ghost people coming out of nowhere to save the day. So I'm not sure that Lord of the Rings actually fares any better on the last season argument. I mean, ghost people, versus Game of Thrones. It might be even when you really think about it. Opponent. Even more delated halflings. And Ignoble Hierarch. All right. Yeah, I'm not sold on these Mox Ambers. I will admit, this Mox Amber does not seem to do a ton. Well, we will play land past the turn. Next turn, we can start Kolaghan's Commanding, maybe. Seth, this is my conspiracy theory. How close do you think Lord of the Rings was going to be a standard set, but seeing it failed of D&D standard that was forced to be modern, that's why all the extra copies of the legendaries. I mean, that seems kind of possible. I don't know. I really wish it was a standard set. I feel like, I don't know if I would consider the D&D set a failure, but I also don't think that Adventures in Forgotten Realms did what Wizards was hoping. I don't think it was the smashing success that they were hoping for. So I don't know if I would consider it a straight up flop, but I do know what you're saying, that maybe it wasn't quite as good as it coulda, shoulda, woulda been. Are we just passing again? How do we beat a Grist? Is it even possible to beat a Grist? Well, let's pass the turn, I guess. I guess we're gonna pass and try to, like, Colligan's command. No Bowmasters, no Ace Knots, definitely awkward. Even with our extra payoffs, we're not finding the Ace Knot. Big weird how they kept Lord of the Rings out of standard. Change center rotation when Lord of the Rings are released. Yeah. Has anyone, we're what, like a few weeks into Lord of the Rings now, has anyone picked up Alchemy again because of it? That's one thing I've been trying to keep an eye on, is if the Lord of the Rings set is leading to a new boon in Alchemy, but I'm not sure that it actually is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I mean, they can't chord for Yogg here, right? Opponent hits us. Could really use a land. That would be sweet. Down to 14. Opponent. Thinking. If we play any creature, it just dies to Grist. Blue Spike! Welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, 2 damage. Target player discards a card. We will make you discard and kill your ignoble hierarch. Opponent going to float a mana. Oh, is this Veil of Summer? Wow, runs out an endurance. Well, we might just die to the battlefield. I don't know if we can beat the things that are currently on the battlefield at the moment. Well, we may. Opponent's empty-handed. But how do we overcome a Grist and an endurance and a Wall of Roots? We can't play Shieldred because it just dies. Yes, turn 2 Grist is just dominating this game. Well, we draw a Waste Knot, which is something not really. Not good, not good. All right, play a Waste Knot. This Mox Amber is taunting us. I don't get it. I don't get it. Lord of the Rings is the only reason I started playing Commander. I had won a precon in a Whatnot giveaway. Ooh, how do you like Whatnot? Has anyone hung out at Whatnot? Is Whatnot, so I try to be really careful with companies that I'm not really familiar with. How was your experience on Whatnot, Ben? I see like Prof is doing it, which is cool. I see like Vince has been doing it, which makes me a little bit more comfortable with it. What's Whatnot? Whatnot is a live stream auction site. It's basically like pack crackings and so forth, where people can do streams, but it's mostly focused on like opening packs and selling cards from packs and so forth. Kind of a cross between like eBay and Twitch, but more mobile based. I think like if you mash all that stuff together. What are we killing? Do we just take it? We kill the halfling. Are we ever going to be able to kill endurance? This is a bad position. This is a bad position. Opponent's got no cards in hand. They just played a bunch of dorks and are beating us down. I mean, the pack cracking idea is pretty sweet. Like that's something I do enjoy. Yeah, I think like Post Malone had a live event. Like Professor just had a live stream. I know Vince does live streams. So Crack Pack the auction the cards off as they come. Yeah, I think it goes in different ways. I think sometimes it's just like Who is it that's done it on YouTube? Sometimes I think it's like, here's a collector booster. Everyone pitch in so much to like buy a pack, and then you open the pack and like, this pack is yours. Whatever comes out of this pack, we're shipping to this person. Whatever comes out of the next pack is going to this person. Other times I think it's cracking packs and then like auctioning cards off of the pack. So I think you can do it in any way you want to. I haven't actually done a stream on there, but I've seen some of them. So if we play Shieldred, they take down Grist, kill it. We can activate Gaia Reach to trigger Waste Knot. 9 is not a ton of life. Well, okay, stopping our opponent's draw step. Oh, this is not great, not great. So draw step, 1, 2, 3. Target player discards a card, kill something. You discard. I guess we kill an insect. Yeah, this is just a Grist win. Grist coming down on turn 2 has just put too many bodies on the battlefield. And we haven't really got any Waste Knot traction. Opponent discards a land. Oh. Land is the worst thing for opponent to discard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we're about to die. Thought for sure that someone pulled the 101 ring. That bought a pack was... I thought for sure, though, that if someone pulled the 1 of 1 ring, the person that bought the pack was going to get the 1 ring. Wait, I thought for sure, though, that if someone pulled the 1 of 1 ring, the person that bought the packs was... Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, if someone paid for a booster pack and then someone opened the 1 ring, they might not actually end up getting it. Yeah, that actually sounds like it could be possible. I could see that happening. I could at least see people being tempted. I mean, it is the ring. You gotta be tempted by the ring. Well, all right. Waste Knot. 3 creatures, so we make a bunch of 2/2s. Do we even have any untapped land swing yet? Okay, we can get a swamp. We drop to 3. Well, loot. Discard a Gaia Reach. Opponent discards Beseju. He makes some mana. Does this even keep us alive? Maybe. Opponent untaps. Well, we hit the Burning Inquiry. Finally. Oh no. Oh no. Opponent found something. Oh, the 1 ring. Okay, that's not good. That is not good at all. Opponent 1 ring. Protection from everything. Takes down Gris. Sacks a dork. Kills a zombie. Opponent has like 3 removal spells sitting on the board. What's the current theory on why collector boosters haven't dropped in price that much? I mean, they've dropped in price a bit, right? I think they've come down at least a bit. Opponent gets in. Sure. We got a chump. Oh, and they have the 1 ring now. The 1 ring's getting banned. The 1 ring is so ridiculous. I wonder if this deck should be playing the 1 ring. It would definitely need more lands to actually get to 4 mana on occasion. These Mox Ambers. These Mox Ambers, yeah, we're dead, right? We're super dead. These Mox Ambers, though, I swears to the gods. Mox Amber, for some reason. Replace the Mox Ambers with basic life. Replace it with anything. Apparently, did you see that apparently some random person that ended up opening the 1 ring? I know there were some conspiracies going around that the 1 ring was going to be given to SCG or some big vendor. Wizards, there's no way they would just like send it out in a booster pack to have a normal person open. Well, unless it's an incredibly deep conspiracy theory, which to the point where it's not even, I don't think, realistic in the slightest, but it sounds like they just like, a pack was bought by a random person who works retail somewhere up near Toronto in Canada and ended up opening it and just finding it in their pack, which is pretty sweet. So I'm glad that's how it turned out. I didn't buy any of the conspiracy theory parts. Like, I really don't. I think people just don't really understand when it comes to like. Yeah, we're super dead. When it comes to like Star City Games opening the Ragavan a few sets ago, I think people don't connect like how many packs the big vendors open. Like, you would expect that Star City Games would be probably the single most likely entity in the entire world to open a good serialized card, because they most likely open more packs than anyone in the world. So they just like, yes, the odds are not in favor of them opening it because odds are low that anyone's opened it. But out of all the people that could open one, they're probably the most likely. So it was cool to see just some random person actually get it rather than someone doing finance, you know, a big vendor or something. Prophet TC was pushing conspiracy theory about Wizards filling the ring for holiday bundles. I think I saw a little bit about people saying stuff like that on Twitter. I didn't actually see that though. Did you hear about the 49% tax on selling the One Ring? Ooh, is it real? Oh, is that because it's Canada? I mean, I guess I don't know. So my little brother plays D1 basketball. They had some financial advisor person who like works with people in the NBA that have lots of money and whatnot. But they that person was talking to them about NIL deals, any of that kind of any way they would make money. And the advisor basically said, whenever you make money from something, if you get a sponsorship deal, your contract, anything like that, essentially just expect to only get half of that. So I guess that's kind of the expectation everywhere because of taxes. So I guess losing 50% of it to taxes doesn't actually surprise me. I think that's actually just kind of more or less normal, if that makes sense. I was surprised that it was only graded a 9. I figured it would be a 10, like fresh out of the pack, but apparently not. Maybe we need Force of Despairs. Is Thoughtseize even worth it? I mean, it does work with Waste Not. It's hard to cut Thoughtseize in a Waste Not deck. I can't imagine Ragavan snowballing. You know what? Let's just cut Ragavan altogether. I just don't see Ragavan going off in this matchup with a million cheap creatures. Oh, really? Is 10 pretty rare even for... Ooh, this hand looks interesting. Except we, again, have this Mox Amber. Is 10 pretty rare even for a brand new card? Might be worth cutting Waste Not. Never. That is not going to happen. We can't cut a Waste Not. Waste Not's too sweet. I don't feel like we can cut the Mox Ambers because we only have 20 lands. I don't know how we ever... I mean, I guess they never do anything anyway, so what's it matter? But Chord of Calling, Force of Vigor. Wow, that is a lot of hate for enchantments, that's for sure. Chord of Calling, Force of Vigor. Wall of Roots, Haywire Might. Well, let's take... Wall of Roots. Pass the turn. Yeah, you can't change your deck mid-league, unfortunately. I don't know, can you see... Look at the deck list. We have to... Can you see any specific purpose... Outside of the one Mount Doom, can you see any specific purpose for the Waste Knots? I don't even think we play the Waste Knot here. Like... If we play the Waste Knot, they just kill it with the Haywire Might, which seems like a waste. A waste of a Waste Knot. Like, the card says we shouldn't do that. About it. Twilight, Mire, and passes. Is it worth getting random old cards graded? I realized I was trying to organize some of my Magic cards, and I have, like, a handful of, like, lower rarity Alpha and Beta cards. Just, like, commons and maybe a couple uncommons. They're not in any special kind of condition. They're just like they've been played and lived with. They don't look bad. It's not like they're super beaten up, but like, is it worth getting a card like that graded? Even just a random common just because it's from Alpha or Beta? Well, all right. I guess we have a plan, which is jam a Shieldred. Yeah, running out. They didn't have an answer, right? They have a million answers for artifacts and enchantments, not necessarily for a Shieldred, though. Opponent getting drained down to 18 and passes. Okay. Well, play Mox Amber. Go to combat, hit you with Shieldred. Oh, this is, things are looking up. Things are looking up. Opponent down to 14. Do we just play Fury? I think we do. This is probably wrong, but let's play Fury. Target nothing. Get the double striker on the battlefield. Opponent untaps. They draw with Shieldred. They drop to 12. We are presenting 10 points of damage next turn. Why is our opponent not doing... Opponent scoops it up. What are they doing? What is going on in Yogville? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that was a good win. We took down a pretty good deck in Yogg. So we're 1-1 now. 1-1. Oh, our first match was so close. I've graded my alphas. Getting a 10 on limited paper product is way worth more than the cost to grade. What if I'm pretty confident it's going to be like a 7 or something? Yeah, I guess our opponent just didn't draw anything. Like, what if I expect it to be graded at like a 7? Still worth it? Or do you only grade stuff if you expect it's going to be potentially a high number? Yeah, Yogville is probably one of the worst places to live. Is there any place worse in the multiverse than Yogville? Yogville. Yogwillville. I will say, I don't know if you drink Gatorade. Definitely not sponsored by Gatorade. Although Gatorade, if you want to sponsor me, I've become a big believer in Gatorade Zero. I'm sure whatever fake sugar they use is probably... There'll probably be an article next week about how it's going to give me cancer eventually. But for having 0 calories in it, it's actually not that bad. It's got to be blue though. Also, speaking of Gatorade, I had a big debate about this over the weekend, over the holiday weekend. When it comes to Gatorade, do you actually know the names? I figured everyone just called Gatorade by the color, like, I like blue Gatorade. But then I had some people say that no, you gotta have the actual name. It's not blue Gatorade. You gotta actually have the name of the flavor of Gatorade, or it doesn't count. Does anyone... Oh, Rooker, you're ruining my point, Rooker. Wait, you all actually know the names? To me, it's just like blue or red. I had red, and someone was like, well, what's the flavor? Blue, obviously. What does blue taste like? I had blue. Just keep saying blue until they stop asking. Blue. Blue Gatorade is blue raspberry. Someone pointed out that, like, apparently there's more than one blue Gatorade, and that is where my theory falls apart. Although, as far as I'm concerned, this color, this light blue color, that's the only real blue Gatorade. Ooh, okay. Okay, this hand's actually sweet. This hand might actually do the thing we're trying to do. Orcish Thoughtseize 1, Bowmasters 2, Burning Inquiry, Wombo combo. We will keep. Oh, what color is it? Oh, I guess I should have looked. It's... Oh, you can't actually see. It's... Oh, I guess there is a name on it. Is there a name on it? Glacier Freeze. Yeah, it is white on the screen, isn't it? It's like the sky blue or the sea blue, the super light blue one. About it. Verdant Catacombs. No thought seizing. Oh, they're an amulet deck. All right. That's fine. That's fine. We can beat an amulet. Our mighty thought seizes can stop the Primeval Titans. Wow, that's a fancy Bowmasters. Bowmasters, Dried of the Ilsen Grove. Well, so if we take Dryad, our opponent... If we don't take Dryad... Well, okay, take Dryad. Pass the turn. Hopefully they play their Bowmasters first, and we can Bowmaster their Bowmaster, is the hope and dream. And then Burning Inquiry for the funds. Opponent, Teleria West, and passes. All right, well, we draw. Croxa, well, untap land, pass the turn. All right, flash in your Bowmaster's opponent. Please, please, please. Are they going to play around it? They are going to play around it. Opponent, passing. Oh, that's not great. All right, can we draw land, please? Oh, I can't believe they played around it. Mount Doom. All right, well, Thought sees you. We're going to force our opponent to do something here. They can't just sit back on their Bowmasters forever. All right, Thought sees you. Opponent Bowmasters. Sure, sure, sure. Take the Grazer. Well, we will run out of Bowmasters. Kill your Bowmasters. All right. All right, as long as our opponent doesn't top deck, we can do Burning Inquiry things with the Bowmasters. Opponent, bounce land, untaps it. They are short on Titan mana, right? Bounces, picks it up. Cycles Teleria West. Okay, gets a Summoner's Pact. Opponent passes. All right, Burning Inquiry. All right, Burning Inquiry. Get rid of that Summoner's Pact, please. So we will... Actually, let's first... Do we want to Croxa first? I guess we should. So let's Croxa first. Make you discard a card. Okay. Bowmaster's Burning Inquiry. How good is it? Opponent. I assume they're going to hold on to the Summoner's Pact. Oh, if they draw another Bowmasters, we get super blown out. That would be so bad. Is Bowmasters the new days? It's a little... I could see a little mental misstep action. Like, you got to play your Bowmasters to stop your opponent's Bowmasters. All right, Burning Inquiry. Snipe your Bowmaster. Snipe your face. Snipe your face. Oh. Our opponent discarded only lands, though. That's actually kind of scary. Hit ya. Our opponent could still have a Primeval Titan in hand, right? That is still a possibility. That's still possible. Opponent down to 10. Come on. Bowmasters, better than Primetime. T-Bunker! If this is Primeval Titan, I'm going to cry. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Floats of Mana. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, okay, it's a Grazer. It's opponent. Don't do that to me, opponent. T-Bunker. They floated Primeval Titan mana and then played a Grazer. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, we will, yes, not die, which is good. Go to combat. Hit ya. I guess just hit ya, actually. Hit ya. Opponent gonna jump with the Grazer. Well, we will Bloodstained Mire Kraket. Get a Swamp. Play a 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, is Croxa better? Croxa might be better. Let's play a Croxa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Croxa. Hit you down to 7. Pass the turn. No Primeval Titans. No Primeval Titans. Opponent. Actually draws a Primeval Titan. You gotta be kidding. Magic gods. Magic gods. Opponent. You're gonna get a couple Valakuts. Actually, does this even matter? They don't have enough mountains. Untaps. Goes to combat. Like, we still win, right? So they attack, they get 2 lands. But Kroxa can kill the Primeval Titan. They already have a hand where they get a Teleria West and a Bounce Land. All right, untaps. Picks it up. Well, we have to block with Kroxa. Kill the Prime Time. Opponent. Okay, we survived the Primeval Titan. Yeah, I don't know what our opponent's doing there. They did top deck the Primeval Titan, which was pretty impressive, but the rest of it, not sure. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Did you have to block? I think it's safest to block, right? Because we just have lethal. Opponent down to 2. Because we know our opponent has a land in hand, so we can just Kroxa and win, right? I mean, we can do this in any number of ways. I guess we can also just Shield Rid and win. There are many combinations that lead to our opponent losing here. Opponent untaps, draws a card, and Shield Rid. Finishes. Oh, okay. We overcame the Prime Time somehow. Hamilton, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super, thank you. Hey, what's up, Cat Cam fan? I love your fog deck the other day. I need to know, I need more karaoke sets in my life. Can I request Cake Tunes for the next vehicle deck you brew? Half of their discography is car songs in one way or another. That is true. They do love their card songs, don't they? Going the Distance, Satan is My Motor. I feel like there's way more that I'm... Jerry is a race car driver. No, that's Primus, right? I think that's Primus. That's a good idea. Oh, Cat Cam fan. I know you Cars by Gary Newman. I know you love cat stories. So it was a good pet weekend. Oh yeah, shift sticks and safety belts. Short skirt, long jacket. Wait a minute. I know you love the pet stories. So this weekend, along with being 4th of July barbecue stuff, it's Bear's birthday. So Bear had a birthday, get his cupcake, the doggy cupcakes, which he really enjoyed. So Bear had a good birthday. Cece, I don't even know when Cece's birthday is. So you can't really celebrate Cece's birthday fully because of that. However, Cece got a cat tunnel. I don't know if you've ever seen them. I mean, I guess they're probably pretty common. I had never seen them because I don't know anything about cats. But it's like a cat tunnel thing where you can run in it and play in it, and it kind of scrunches down, and she loves it. She loves it. She's been playing in that ever since she got it. She runs back and forth through it. She lays down in it. So it was a good weekend for the pets. I think the pets were pretty happy with how the weekend turned out. I think we get on the lightning bolts. Lightning bolts seem pretty medium. We definitely want blood moons. Force of Despair seems decent. Thought seems necessary. And then maybe one Colligan's Command. Let's try it like that. And I think Bear is he's been on a diet. He hates it, but he's been on a diet. I think he's actually starting to trim down a little bit, which is probably good because he's the vets seem to think that he needs to lose a little weight, so he's finally adjusting to the diet. What did y'all do this weekend? During the video, I thought you were swearing instead of saying fog, and I was like, wait till Seth's mother sees this. No, we were just fogging them. Primus and King not that different. The missing link is Ween. I mean, Ween is always the missing link. I don't know if I'm gonna get to see Ween this summer, which is kind of sad. I try to see Ween as often as possible, but I don't think they're coming anywhere close to me, and I don't think I'm gonna travel like across the country to see a Ween show most likely this summer. King O Sharks, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop for you. Thank you. Oh, also, so the other thing I got to do over the weekend is got to see some Magic peeps. Thanos and Ian, Scalding Hot Super, were coming through town, so I got to hang out with them a bit, and I got to play a new game that I hadn't played before. Oh, so it is a It was actually really good. Ran out of beach house and partied all weekend. That sounds like a good way to spend the 4th of July. Sounds like a good thing to do with a weekend off. So this game, I can't remember the name of it. So it was a tile game. And the way it worked is, someone's going to know the name of it, I'm sure. But you start with a bunch of tile. Azul. Yeah, Azul. I never played Azul before, but I got to play Azul with them. It was actually really fun, to the point where I think I'm going to buy Azul now to have it around. I was very impressed with just how fun Azul was. Has anyone else played Azul? Yeah, I was impressed. It was actually really good. Yeah, I got to play more board games. I like board games. I just don't play them that often. Opponent. Oh, more Bowmasters. Okay. Well, that's not ideal. What happens if we slam Blood Moon here? Do we even win because of that? Like, our opponent doesn't do anything, but we also don't do anything. Oh, Burning Inquiry. Oh. So we have Burning Inquiry Waste Knot. The problem is our opponent has a Bowmaster. So this might help them more than it helps us. And maybe we should have pitched this Force last turn to just kill a Bowmaster. I don't know what to do now. This is a super awkward position. Well, we will play a Waste Knot. And I guess we just have to pass. I don't think we can do it with the Bowmaster out. I think we lose if we do it with the Bowmaster out. Opponent. Tap land and combat and hits us with the dorks. If we draw a removal spell, it gets easier. Or we could draw something for Turok. Or we could draw a fetch land for Black Source, and then we can play Blood Moon. Fetch land? Terminate. All right. So we can terminate the Bowmasters. All right, pass the turn. This is like the worst Blood Moon ever because we've drawn the Gaia Reach and we've drawn the Gaia Reach. We've drawn the Mount Doom. Well, kill the Bowmasters. Drop to 12. Hope for no Primeval Titans. Land. Summoner's Pact. I mean, we can force a Despair to kill the Primeval Titan. Opponent. Primeval Titan. Tutors up. What? We're gonna get him with the bad force. No one forces Despairs. Primeval Titan's a lot fair without Amulet. I feel like not playing Amulet's probably a mistake. Forest in a Golgari Rot Farm. Well, Force of Despair. Exile Shieldred. Kill the Prime Time. Opponent picks up the land. We draw. Shieldred. Well, okay. Let's see what happens. Burning Inquiry. Zombie mana creature. Play Polluted Delta. We lost our Blood Moon, which is awkward. Well, okay. But we do get to kick a Turok. Make you discard. Trigger. Ooh, Bowmasters too. All right. Bowmasters. Ping ya. That was a good turn. That was a pretty good little Waste Knot turn. I don't know if it beats a Primeval Titan coming down, but that was a good turn. Opponent has to... Oh, they have to pay. Oh, no! We could have won with a pack, couldn't we? You're right. You are correct. Going for the pact probably would have been better. All right, we get hit by Shieldred. Yeah, that would have been a funnier win. I was so focused on doing cool things with Waste Knot, I didn't really think it through, but I think you're correct that would have actually been better. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Croxa. Make you discard. Make a zombie. Grow the dorks. Hit you with the Turok. About it. I mean, unless our opponent top decks, we're probably winning though, right? Down to 9. We can beat a Shieldred. We can beat a Shieldred. We got our own Shieldred opponent. Oh, that's true. They did a Beseiju, didn't they? Wait, did they top deck a Prime Time? Oh no. Oh, that would be brutal. Sort of. Opponent discards Teleria West. Can tutor up a pack. They don't have the mana for Primeval Titan, though. Do they even go for it? Even though they can't play it this turn? Opponent. I guess they could get, like, Engineered Explosives on 2 would be pretty good. Kills that, kills that, kills that, kills that. That might be enough to let him win, actually. That seems pretty decent. Urza's Saga. Plays Urza's Saga. Okay. Do we activate Gaia Reach? Probably not. Alright. Opponent. Saga. And passes. We draw Turok. Alright, well, at least we get our own Shieldred down. Let's go to combat. Do some attacking. Attack, attack. Hit you to 8. Opponent's got to start blocking. Opponent blocks. Opponent blocks. Gonna keep the Shieldred. What they don't know is we also would like to do Shieldred things. Oops. Damage time. Opponent, okay, stays at 8. That's fine. We play Shieldred. Blood Crypt. Pass the turn. Shieldred's dueling. I mean, we gotta have it, right? There's no way. I don't think there's any one card that gets our opponent out of this. We stay at 5. They take up the Urza Saga. Are we taking down Amulet Titan? Is it actually happening? We never beat Amulet Titan. It never happens. Would Turgid be good in this deck? It's a little slow. It's a little slow. An opponent scoops it up. Who has anyone played Acquire? Maybe we need to play a a bribery Acquire deck now that everyone's playing. Wow, could that work? That would actually be a funny against the odds. If you think about the modern meta, like top tier decks, Indomitable Creativity, great for targeting with bribery, stealing the Archon, stealing the Atraxas. And then a lot of other decks are playing the One Ring, which is a really good target for Acquire, which is artifact bribery. Maybe we gotta do a against odds with like bribery, Acquire, just the Thada Adele. Thada Adele might be even better. Maybe we gotta play like Merfolk with Thada Adele. Thada Adele, when it hits your opponent, you can just search their library for an artifact, exile it, and then you can play the card. Using Thada Adele to steal the One Ring sounds actually pretty hilarious. It wasn't a inevitable betrayal. Ooh, as foretold, inevitable betrayal. That actually seems like it could be a fun deck. I mean, I think it was still a punt, but we managed to recover from the punt. It would have been pretty funny to win with our opponent's pack. It's always funny to kill someone with their own pack, but here's an idea for a fun deck. Harmless Offering, One Ring, using Proliferate to get as many burn counters on it as possible, then giving you over for 5+ damage each upkeep. Ooh. That could be funny. Although we're also giving our opponent a lot of cards. That is funny, though. It is funny. I think the idea of giving your opponent the One Ring, the flavor aspect of it's hilarious. I've been playing Rotograbic Boromir in Historic. Kind of want to try a version of it in Modern. How's it been going in Historic? Has it been working? Hey, what's up, Gordius? How are you? Hey, how is Artisan going, Rucker? Anything sweet happening in that format with Lord of the Rings stuff? Harmless offering the Planeswalker that stops them from drawing. I lost to someone in Historic that was playing like Uncommon Obnixilus that hates on draw, Bowmasters, Shield, just like anything that punishes your opponent for drawing a card. They must have just been planning on just feasting on anyone playing the One Ring, and it worked against me. One Ring donate Narset part of the battles. Ooh. Well, I guess we're Dirty Monkey players today. Opponents on Kahira. Speaking of the One Ring, it might be the One Ring time. Oh, we gotta play Teferi's Protection combo at some point. Alright, go stupid. So far we have not played a single Ragavan, but that's about to change. Bloodstained Mire, Crack It, Blood Crypt, and the stupidest of monkeys. Go. Maybe we can just steal our opponent's One Ring with Ragavan. That would be acceptable. About it. Lethal Vapors One Ring. Does that work? Wait, let me look up Lethal Vapors. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, destroy it. Destroy the Vapors, skip your next turn. Any player may activate the ability. So you can skip infinite turns. But the One Ring... So the One Ring gives you protection from everything. That doesn't necessarily keep you safe, though, right? Like, so protection stops you from being damaged and targeted. The problem is, like, Cauldron Familiar still gets you. Sheoldred still gets you. Milling still gets you. So I don't actually know if that would that actually keep you safe enough to actually win? I feel like if you skip infinite turns with protection from everything, you still lose in a lot of matchups. Which is kind of awkward. With Teferi's Protection, it's very, very hard to actually lose. Alright, opponent passes. We draw a Schwamp. Well, Well, go to combat, hit you with a Ragavan. Get a treasure. Stupid monkey damage. Oh, we don't have the right mana. Oh, I would have loved to play that Teferi. Alright. Well, not destined to play the Teferi. We can, however, Thought Seize our opponent. Leyline Binding, Counterspell, Prismatic Ending, Teferi, Wrenn, and 6. That is a handful of problems. Well, I think we take the Wrenn, try to pinch our opponent's mana, play the Verdant Catacombs, pass the turn. That is a handful of answers. Yeah. Counters, removal, Teferis. Well, we'll see. What might happen here that would actually be pretty good is our opponent ends up killing the Ragavan because they don't want to get hit by it, and we get to kick a Turok because Ragavan's pretty silly. And having protection from white seems decent against our opponent's deck. And we get to make them discard 2 cards at random. Yeah, this might have worked out pretty well. Pro white might be really important here. Ooh, Burning Inquiry. Well, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Kick a Turok with the monkey mana. Discard a couple cards at random. Pro white. Grow it. Alright. So opponent has Teferi and an unknown. Alright, opponent. Can you beat a Turok? Pass the turn. I got asked to make something evil. Well, let me see what you're up to, Doug. What evil thing are we doing today? Alright, opponent gets another Triome. Is Stern Scolding good enough for Modern? I think it is. I think it's kind of meta dependent and deck dependent, but I think it is of a power level that's good enough for Modern. Opponent to Teferi. Can't target the Turok though. Wow, just ticks it down. Okay, to draw a card. This is interesting. Ooh, another Burning Inquiry. Wait, how big can we make? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Well, I think we dash Ragavan. Go to combat. Hit our opponent. Oh, do we need to kill Teferi? Probably, right? Hit our opponent. Hit Teferi. Play the land. Pass the turn. I'd like to draw the Waste Knot before Burning Inquiry or a Bowmasters. Any of the synergy pieces about it. I don't know. Has anyone tried Stern Scolding? Had any experience with it? Opponent gets Kahira. Plays a Sacred Foundry. Tapped. Ooh. Oh, this is pretty good. Another Ragavan. Well, we will dash a Ragavan. We will Burning Inquiry. Grow the Dorks. Go to combat. Hit ya. Make a treasure down to 2. Steal a Ren that we can't... Oh, we can play. That's actually kind of good. Red and green. Who's money pile now? An opponent scoops it up. Okay, that was... that feels good. Playing against money pile One Ring $2,000 deck, $2,000 deck. That was a pretty... So we didn't go off with Waste Knot. We didn't go off with Bowmasters. Apparently Turok, though, 7/6 pro white. Apparently pretty hard for an opponent to deal with. Isn't Ragavan Treasure more valuable than 2 damage? So I think, considering we can mostly play our hand at that point anyway, and that... I mean, I guess this is probably wrong because we just hit a Ren that we could play. But in general, I was thinking there wouldn't be many things we would actually play from our opponent's deck. That's what made me think it was better to get in the extra damage, but it's possible that just hitting with Ragavan there would have been better. Do you think the One Ring will get banned? So, I think it's too early to say for sure. We have a Modern Pro Tour coming up. So we'll see what happens at the Pro Tour. But I would say based on the early results that we've seen so far, I would not be surprised. I think, to me, the early results seem to suggest that it's kind of ridiculously overpowered. So the big problem is it just shows up in so many different decks. Like, I made a YouTube short about this. A lot of good new cards in Modern, they're good enough to beat an archetype, or the great cards make an archetype where you have an Omnath deck or whatever that is built around this specific new card. What makes the One Ring so unique is it's just seen play in so many archetypes. Like, it's probably at its best in the Omnath Money Pile deck, but it really has been in aggro decks, combo decks, control decks, ramp decks. Like, name an archetype and someone has posted a 5-0 with it, or a performance in a whatever tournament with it. So I feel like the fact that it shows up everywhere, which is aided by the fact it's colorless, so any deck can play it without any color concerns. I think that that's what probably could lead to it getting banned. That said, I mean, it's still really early. I'm still at the point where I kind of enjoy playing with the One Ring, although it's the kind of enjoyment where I know it's not gonna last forever. Like, right now, yes, it's kind of fun actually to play with the One Ring, and I kind of enjoy the power of like drawing a ridiculous number of cards. At the same time, in a month or like 2 months, it's hard for me to imagine it not getting old. I don't know if you've seen this yet. Like, have you seen a game where both players have the One Ring? And it's like, player 1 plays the One Ring, starts drawing. Player 2 plays it, starts drawing. A lot of those games just feel like it comes down to who draws the One Ring first, which I don't think is a great play pattern. Even worse is the games where both decks are playing the One Ring, but only one person draws the One Ring, and that person just absolutely steamrolls the person who did not draw the One Ring, which is also not a great play pattern. So I think there's a chance that it could end up needing to be banned. Although at the same time, I'm hesitant to go too far with a card that's so new. Like, I think it's probably going to end up being an unhealthy card, but I also don't want to be calling for bans for something 2 weeks after it was printed or whatever. Like, I'm kind of in the give the format time to adjust, see what the Pro Tour looks like. But I would not be surprised if we did end up in a position where we needed to ban it. That wouldn't shock me if that's where we ended up. Oh, I forgot to look at your deck list, Doug. Let's take Prismatic Ending. Oh, they have Beseiju too? It's a little worse. All right, play the land peasant. We want to waste not Burning Inquiry, but our opponent having a Beseiju is going to make that tricky. Soul of Windgrace, eh? Are we playing Momir tonight? Ooh, maybe. I think it depends on how much time's left. It depends on how much time's left in the stream. If there's only a few minutes, then maybe we do Momir. If there's a decent amount of time, we might jump over to Arena and see about updating the Turbo Fog deck, because a lot of people have asked me about a non-budget version of Turbo Fog, so it'll mostly just depend on how much time we got. Let's grab another Swamp. Untap. Blood Crypt. So many lands. Well, play the Blood Crypt. Do we still just go for it? So we play Waste Not, we play Burning Inquiry. Our opponent definitely is going to blow it up with Beseiju. We probably improve our opponent's hand. We might improve our hand. Our hand's not very good. I don't know if it's worth it or not. Are we going to see Commander Masters Draft on Commander Clash with a new freeform Commander mode coming out? Ooh, maybe. Wait. Is the draft format for Commander Masters Commander? I hadn't actually considered that. Could be a possibility, actually. Hey, what's up, Jundinator? How goes the Jundending? All right, let's Waste Not. And then Burning Inquiry. I expect our opponent Beseijus in response. Yup. We do get some mana. And we get a land. Yeah, we'll get it tapped. Okay, we get another Waste Not, but we discard a Blood Moon that we actually kind of wanted. All right, pass the turn. Opponent lost Dress Down Scalding Tarn Counterspell. Oh no, is this to Prismatic Ending? All right. Opponent finds more removal, plays the land passes. Well, who draws something? Ragavan kind of counts. Let's dash a Ragavan. Go to combat, hit ya. Steal a Force of Negation. Okay. Well, Bloodstained Mire, go. Pick up the Ragavan. Can I ask my Moto instead of MTG? Genuinely curious if there's one that's better than the other. So it really depends on what you want to do, Red Maddie. I would say if you're a new-ish player, I would definitely tell you to start on Magic Arena. The biggest issue is Magic Arena, there's a lot of formats in Magic. Magic Arena has Standard, which is the newest format. And they're working on eventually getting Pioneer, which is the format that's next newest behind Standard. But it doesn't have Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Commander. So mostly we play Arena if we're playing Standard or Historic or a format that's on there. But then we also play Magic Online for all the other formats that just aren't on Arena. And at this point might never be on Arena. I can't believe they're not really focusing on getting Pioneer on there in a faster manner. Honestly, so I've been playing way more Historic. I was wondering what would happen with the Lord of the Rings set. I haven't picked up Alchemy because of it, but I have started playing way more Historic again. And sometimes, so I've been enjoying it. I have been enjoying it, but it also makes me a little sad because sometimes I wonder, like, imagine if Wizards actually managed this format and like cared about this format, which is something that sometimes seems lacking. Like sometimes it seems like they just really don't put the effort in, maybe, if that's the right this Mox Amber, I swear to God. They don't really put the effort in, if that makes any sense. So that part's made me a little sad. Just like oh my goodness, that was not good. Yeah, we were intending to attack there. That was part of the plan, but it didn't end up happening. It makes me wonder, like, what would happen if they actually rebalance stuff? When it was actually, like, a managed format where, like, Crucius was not a thing forever or whatever. So that part's made me wonder, why not? Why not more actively manage the format? Because it is actually a really sweet format. All right, let's dash a Ragavan. Go to combat. Opponent drew a Leyline Binding. Okay. Not good. Not good, not good. Well, play a Waste Not. And this Mox Amber might be the worst card in the history of Magic. Seth, what are your final thoughts on the Aftermath set? Nella's been out for a good bit. During spoilers, I was very on it. However, after getting and seeing some of the cards, I think I'm pleasantly surprised. Not sure it justifies the cost of such limited packs, but I found the quality and fun of some of the cards to exceed my expectation. Thoughts? I think I would agree with that. I think Aftermath, I still haven't gotten over the idea of selling 5-card packs or whatever they were for full price. Like, that I think is just, that's a tough sell. The value of the set is really lacking. And I think that doing it that way was probably a mistake. The cards themselves, though, there's some neat ones. I still really like the idea of... standard supplemental sets. So small sets to keep standard fresh. I think that's something that theoretically is going to be even more important if they're going to deal with this slow rotation schedule. So I think that the problems with Alchemy are very fixable, if that makes sense. The problems are not the cards. The cards are very commander focused. It hasn't had a huge impact outside of a handful of cards on constructed formats. So very commander focused. But I think the problems are mostly like down to cost rather than design in the set itself. Like, I think that was the big issue. And I think you can fix that next time. I think you can do mini sets and have the good aspects of it without, selling 5-card packs for full price or whatever. Opponent taking up the Teferi. This has been some awkward running. This Mox Amber Black Cleave Glyphs. Okay, we will, I guess, pass the turn. What is going on with this game? I recently designed a deck to send to Crib for viewer submitted week. It's Esper Green. Do you think you'd like it? Ooh, let me take a look. Opponent plays a land and passes. Can we draw an actual Magic card that is not Mox Amber? Croxa, that kind of counts. So let's play a Waste Not. Play a Croxa. See what our opponent has. Croxa's a good draw. That is a very good draw here. So make you discard. Trigger Waste Not. Oh no, do they have a Leyline Binding? Oh, Solitude. All right. Well, opponent discards their Atwara. Pretty useless. We'll play another land. Pass the turn. We have just not drawn much action this game. I mean, our opponent's also been doing the prison-y money pile control stuff, which has not helped that they've drawn a million Teferis and whatnot. Hey, the One Ring. Hooray! Yeah, cost was excessive, especially for the number of duplicates. But yeah, I kind of like the DLC nature. Yeah, me too. Like I hope they do more of the mini sets in the future. I just hope they price them fairly instead of doing what they do now. Well, let's... Oh, Dashing Ragavan doesn't even... So we're just dead, right? Opponent has the One Ring. I mean, if you're someone who's been wondering about if the One Ring is broken, like, just watch what happens now. This has been a back and forth game. Both players have minimal resources. We've traded off mostly even throughout the game. Our opponent top decks One Ring, and I'm 99.9% sure they just win this game. So opponent drew a card, gained protection from a turn so we couldn't Ragavan, draws 2 cards. So far, in the turn since they played the One Ring, they have fogged us, essentially taken an extra turn and drawn 3 cards. Opponent gets in with the Solitude. Yep, down to 13. And opponent running 6, okay, sure, to get back a land of some kind. And plus this deck, like, if they ever get in trouble, Teferi can pick up the One Ring, do it again, gets back a Triome to cycle, and takes up Teferi. Yeah, at this point, we're just hoping for a miracle of some kind. Lightning Bolt. Well, we will dash a Ragavan. We're trying hard. Ragavan goes attacking. Maybe we can steal a One Ring. How about that? Opponent. Oh no. If they have an answer here, I think we're just dead. Is that another Solitude? I mean, one of the upsides of drawing a lot of extra cards is you're going to find your answers. Yeah, good enough. The One Ring is just ridiculous. I mean, the card is... So here's the thing. When people say... This is one of those cases that when people say, oh, just answer it, I don't think they're actually thinking through the impact of the card. Like, let's say you answer it. Let's say your opponent plays the One Ring, and you immediately answer it in the most effective way possible. You do 2 mana, exile it, whatever. 1 mana, you Leyline Binding it and get rid of it. Your opponent still, for 4 mana, drew a card and took an extra turn. Is probably, like, maybe it's... So it's not quite as good as an extra turn, but it's relatively close to being take an extra turn. Like, colorless Time Walk for 4 mana that also draws you a card. If you think of it that way, that's still a ridiculous card, right? Like, even if you answer it right away, which is kind of similar to, I think, to some of the all-time, like, the all-timer cards, like Luris. Like, I remember people saying that about Luris. Well, yeah, just answer it. And you're like, okay, like, sure. So my opponent played this free companion that didn't cost them a card. They play it, they immediately recast a Mishra's Bauble from their graveyard to draw another card. Even if I answer it in the most effective way possible, I've already gotten 3 for 1. Like, even if I use the literal best possible piece of removal that exists in Magic, I'm so far behind that I'm probably still losing. Like, even when I do it the best possible way, it's still absolutely brutal. I think that the One Ring might end up in that kind of scenario where it's just like, because of how it works, I'm not sure the answer it thing works with the One Ring. Kind of, it's, in some cases, I think it's true. In some cases, I do think people, like, freak out too much about cards, and the answer really is, like, play different removal spells, play different hate cards to be able to answer it. We'll see, but I think that the One Ring might end up in the other side of those cards where it really doesn't matter what you do. It's just very, very difficult to actually interact with. So would Solemnity stop the draw too? Well, let's look at the One Ring. We really would like to stick a Blood Moon against this deck. So the One Ring. ETBs, if you cast it, gain protection from everything. At the beginning of upkeep, lose a life for each burden counter on it. Tap it, put a burden counter on it, then draw a card for each burden counter on it. Yes. So the way the One Ring is worded, if you never get a burden counter on it, you will never draw a card with it. So if you play Solemnity, so there can never be a burden counter, that would keep the cards from being drawn. Opponent. All right, can we beat the One Ring? Can we beat the money pile? I've been wanting to try something unique. With Ivy in Standard. Here's what I came up with. Ooh, let me see, Pyro. All right. I mean, we're going to try this. It's a lot of lands, but at least we have a Castle Lock, Wayne. We can Ragavan on 1, Waste Not 2, Kroxa 3, and then start drawing with Castle Lock, Wayne. Seems reasonable. Doesn't seem horrible. Okay. Opponent going to 6. Can we beat the money pile? Can we beat the money pile? On the other hand, with the One Ring, oh boy, having the One Ring it's a good feeling. I will admit, being the person that's doing the One Ring thing actually feels really good. Feels really good to be the one that can't die and draws a ton of cards each turn. So I'm still a little bit in the honeymoon period, I think, where I still am enjoying that aspect of the One Ring. Well, get in, hit you with a Ragavan, make a treasure, steal a land. Well, I think we just play the land, get down Waste Not. Keep pressuring. Now our opponent needs to answer 2 different things, which is hopefully gonna be a challenge for them. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Is this money man? Oh, they come. Oh, and we drew the Burning Inquiry. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is the dream. This is a dream. Get in with the Ragavan, hit you. Money pile, steal your land again. The stupid monkey doing stupid monkey things. We will play a Kroxa, make you discard, trigger the Waste Not. Oh, this is so brutal. One ring down, we draw land. Play the Castle Lockwing because we don't want to lose it. Burning Inquiry, get a few triggers. Zombie, draw, and we will pass the turn. And I think we're off to a good start. One ring, Chalice of Void Omnath in the graveyard. Do we draw our opponent into a land? If not, they're probably dead. Oh, we're going to beat Money Pile. We did not waste the Waste Not. We did not waste the Waste. What? Okay, I have a question. What in the world could our opponent have possibly had in their hand to make this worth keeping? What could it possibly have been that made them keep this hand? I really have no idea what would make them keep this. Why would your Money Pile deck keep a one-lander with Omnath? Then, I mean, so I guess they had Chalice and then maybe like Ren? Maybe they had a Ren and they were like, all I need is one fetch land and this hand is just literally unbeatable. I mean, I guess I can't say anything about keeping One Rings, or about keeping one-landers because I get yelled at for that all the time, so I guess I'm not the one to say don't keep one-landers, but I don't understand why our opponent kept that one-lander. I mean, I think that is completely fair. I do keep way more one-landers than I should. Well, we're up to 3-1. We lost that one game against Bettina in the first match, that really close first match. Otherwise, we're kind of getting people with Waste Not. I think everyone might need to start playing Vorinclex, stop people from putting counters on the ring. Ooh, so chat, did I already ask you this? I might have. What is your most hated Magic card? Any criteria you want. I don't care. I don't care what your criteria is. The card you hate the most. I may be working on a video related to this, and I'm curious. So Seth, question. The name The One Ring is probably technically generic enough to reprint Magic later down the line. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it counts. I think so. I think so. Like, the One Ring isn't a Lord of the Ring IP, I wouldn't think. What do we got? Render Emergent. Oh, Emergent Ultimatum's a good one. Grief. Yeah, fair. Duress. Any discard. Discard surprised me. I'm surprised how many people hate Thoughtseize and discard spells. Ruin Crab. Yeah, Mill's a good one. Search for Iskanta. Why do you hate Search for Iskanta? All right, let me ask you a more specific question. Those are all really good answers. Any tasking card? Ooh, Clock of Omens. Yeah, Clock of Omens always does unfair things. Okay, this is a good test. So I'm gonna give you two groups of cards, and I want to know which you hate more. So these are cards that were printed in a specific year. The year was 2011, so 12 years ago. And there's 2 very different groups of cards that I think are really hated by different groups of players. And I have been going back and forth about which is more hated. So on one side, you have some of the new Phyrexia Praetors, which would be specifically Vortenklex and Jin-Gitaxias. Vorinclex and Jigataxias are some of the saltiest commander cards. Vorinclex just like shuts down half of your opponent's mana, doubles your mana. Jigataxias, you gotta discard, your opponent's gotta discard their hand, then the rest have draw a ton of cards. So that's one side, the saltiest of the new Phyrexia Praetors. On the other side, there's another group of players, especially 60 card constructed players, they really hate Phyrexian mana, especially Mental Misstep. I think technically I'd say Phyrexian mana in general, but I think Mental Misstep is the worst of those. Mental Misstep, just a free counter for things that were 1 mana value, ended up breaking Legacy, banned in Modern, like it destroyed competitive formats. People like in Legacy, people had to play Mental Misstep even though they didn't want to, just to be able to stop their opponent's mental missteps. Like you had to be able to counter your opponent's missteps. It was pretty brutal. Which of those two group of cards do you hate the most? Because I think it mostly depends on what format you play more. Like I think if you're a commander player, you probably go with the Praetors. But if you're a old-time constructed player, you probably go with Phyrexian mana stuff. Ooh, a lot of people do hate Scrambleverse in Warp World. That is true. Stomping. Oh, don't kill our Ragavan. We need this Mox Amber on. Opponent. No. We promise we won't attack. We promise we won't attack. Oh, they didn't listen. Land. How about a land for this waste? Not Lightning Bolt. Well, this is not what we want to be doing, but we don't have a choice here. Would I really like to play the waste not first? Burning Inquiry. Wow. Okay. Still no land somehow. That is unlikely. Well, we will pass the turn. Discarded a Waste Not, a Lightning Bolt, and another Burning Inquiry. Opponent. They have lands and passes. Yeah. Mox Amber has not impressed me. Not even a little. It is kind of amazing how bad this got. How did a whole bunch of people, theoretically decent at playing Magic, how did a whole bunch of people come to the conclusion to put Mox Amber? All right. How did a bunch of relatively, presumably smart human beings decide to put Mox Amber in their Waste Not decks? I'm so confused. Eminence, yeah. Eminence is pretty aided. There's no way we're beating Rhinos two turns in a row. This is going to be a quick one. Rhinos into Rhinos. GG for us. I mean, Rhinos into Rhinos with us missing land drops, especially. Opponent. I mean, I could buy that if it wasn't, like, literally everyone. That's the thing, like, I looked through a bunch of lists, and every one I was like, wait, Mox Amber. What is going on? Why is everyone playing Mox Amber? Psychologist! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you. So, I will say, if you're playing Underworld Breach, it makes a little bit more sense. Like, you can do some like loopy stuff in the late game where you like Mox Amber from Underworld Breach, she casts a Burning Inquiry off Underworld Breach, she casts a Mox Amber from Underworld Breach to catch a Burning Inquiry and try to get like a combo kill. So I think if you're playing seriously? Huh. So our opponent could have made Rhinos, but instead countered a Waste Not? Okay. Well, I guess Rhinos tomorrow are almost as good as Rhinos today. I'm confused why they wouldn't just make Rhinos, but we really need to draw some lands. For us to have any realistic shot, it's going to involve drawing lands. I am really not clear on what... the Mox Amber is supposed to be doing in this deck. Have you brewed the red-white legend that your deck you're discussing during spoiler season with Mox Amber? So we played a historic version a bit, but we haven't tried it in modern. Yeah, we're just super dead, right? Opponent makes a bunch of Rhinos. Murktide Regent. Well, I mean, we will not scoop. We will do the never scoop thing, but imagine if this Mox Hammer was a land and we could play Shieldred or something. I guess we'd still need one more land, but still, it would be a lot better as a land. I think you're supposed to tap Mox in response to Croxa trigger on the stack. I mean, sure, but that doesn't even do anything here. Like, We could play Kroxa and tap Mox, and then the mana would go away, but it doesn't. We don't have anything we can spend that mana on. About it. Yeah, it's just not. I don't know. It's not very consistent. Like this game, we went turn 1 Ragavan Mox Amber. They killed Ragavan, and we pretty much just lost because of that. We just couldn't cast anything for the rest of the game because of that. About it, Bazes. As this useless artifact sits here and mocks us. All the Bowmasters in the world do not stop the rhinos. Have you brewed a deck using Rebuild This City? Quite a funny landfall deck. Getting in turn 4 or 5, 3 landfall triggers with 3/3 Vigilance and Menace. I haven't. I remember being excited about that card. It's just like a fun, janky build around during spoiler season. But it's one of those cards that I just never actually got around to using. Well, I guess Chalice and Force of Vigors and Engineer Explosives probably our best bet here. Lightning Bolt seems really bad. Doesn't actually kill anything. Can maybe go down like a Turok and a... Is Liliana even worth it? Maybe go down... Do we cut the Mox Ambers? I don't know. So looking at the deck list, Sheoldred's legendary. Kroxa. I guess Turok Ragavan. It's not a lot of legends. I guess the 2 Lilianas count too, but still, not a huge number. You know what I think happened? You know what I think I figured it out. You know what I think happened? I bet if you look at Waste Not Bowmaster decks, you know what I think happened here? Check this out. I bet let's see. Waste Not, Orcish Bowmaster, Modern. So if you look at these decks, I bet what happened is someone... Actually, I guess I'm taking it back. My theory was that someone played an Underworld Breach Waste Not deck, like this deck. In a deck like this, Mox Amber would make sense to me because of that loop we were talking about. And then other people started with their deck list and still kept in the Mox Ambers and didn't take them out. But in practice, that doesn't seem to be true. Like, if you look at the deck list, that doesn't seem to be what's happening. It seems like if people are playing Underworld Breach, they're playing Mishra's Bobble and not playing Mox Amber. So I guess that theory is not correct. That would have made sense to me, though. Like, if people kept them in, not realizing that it gets so much worse, that would make sense. Well, all right, go Ragavan, I guess. Go Ragavan. You can open a link into a new tab by using your middle mouse click. You don't have to right click and choose open new tab. Middle mouse click? Wait, it's a thing? Middle mouse buttons? I don't think I've ever clicked the middle mouse button. What is this sorcery? Middle mouse buttons. Ragavan, don't kill it. We just need some treasures to play this Liliana opponent. Just don't kill it. I mean, I think we might be in that sweet spot where we don't have enough time to really switch to Arena and rebuild Turbo Fog, but we do have enough time to... Wow, they're just going to pitch that to get rid of the Ragavan. Okay, well, I mean, sure, I guess. Blood Crypt, not ideal. Blood Crypt half past the turn. But I think that means that we might be able to get in a game of Momir. So if you're someone who plays Momir, it's been a while since we've Momired. But if you're someone who plays Momir on Moto and you want to try to Momir, you should fire up Moto, because I think after we do our league, we can probably do a Momir game. About it. Passing. And, ooh, that is actually a pretty good draw. That's actually a very good draw. So we will untap land. play Liliana. So I think what we do, take up Liliana, discard Kolaghan's Command, play a Chalice on 0, and then next turn we can kick Turok and pretty much just clean out our opponent's hand. So make a discard. Ooh, they pitched a force. That's good. Chalice on 0. All right, pass the turn. No rhinos for you. No rhinos for you. Wait, I mean, I use the middle mouse button. I'm so confused. I use the middle mouse button to, like, scroll up and down. I'm supposed to click it? Wait, I actually have to try this now. Let me pull up a... Wait, what were you saying to me? So if I have this, what happens if I... I don't understand. What is this? What is this strange symbol? Okay. So if I click my middle mouse button, it does this. But what is... I'm so confused. That's supposed to bring me to new tabs? Wait, so if I open up more tabs? I don't know. It doesn't seem to work. It doesn't... Wait. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. If I go to something that's a link and click the middle mouse button, it just opens a new tab rather than right-clicking into it. Ah! Okay. That's pretty convenient. Oh, also... Yeah, okay, furious chat. Also, chat. I just had to show this off because I knew you'd be proud of me. Look at the desktop. Look, don't avert your eyes. Look at how nice and organized that is. Mostly empty, not a whole lot of clutter. So I figured I had to show that off. I figured I'd get a round of applause for the clean desktop. And you know what's even better? I was working on this video. You're gonna be so proud of me. I was working on this video about bannings. Look at this. That is, I don't know if you can see it from there. That's a folder. That's a folder that says bannings. And there's even files in it. There's files in it. I did it, chat. I did, just for you. I was thinking, okay, I'm just gonna have all these. I'm gonna have all these images on my desktop. Chat's gonna yell at me. It's like, you know what? I'm an adult. I don't need to get yelled at by Twitch chat for having icons all over my desktop. You know what? I think I can make a folder today, and I did. I did it. Are you proud of me, Twitch? Are you proud of me? Opponent kills their Liliana. And what do you say about the video where you alt tabbed into a poll? Yeah, I'm still figuring that out. I'm so scared to imagine what your room or house looks like. I mean, because there are magic cards all over, but it's actually pretty clean. It's actually pretty clean. You will find magic cards in surprising places, like as you roam around, like, oh, why is there magic cards behind the couch? I don't know. Such is life of a Magic player. But other than that, it's actually pretty good. Oh, boon it. 3 of the 10 most expensive Lord of the Rings cards are uncommon. Are they 3 Nazguls, or are there non-Nazguls uncommons that are on the list? Oh, boon it. Draws. Oh, okay, that's fine. We have Chalice, so sure. Shardless Agent, no rhinos. Shardless Agent, no rhinos is pretty all right with us. You know what would be a great draw is Burning Inquiry. Burning Inquiry would be a really, really good draw. Or a land. Do we even attack? I don't really want to attack. Let's just pass. Pass the turn, see what our opponent does. Yeah, the Nazguls. I mean, the Nazguls are surprisingly popular. We did, on the YouTube yesterday, I did Modern Nazguls for Against the Odds, and it was one of the most popular Modern videos I made in a while. Like, I don't really are Nazguls iconic Lord of the Rings characters? I'm kind of blown away It just like how much people love Nazguls. I knew like Gandalf, people are gonna love Gandalf, or like whatever, Frodo, things like that. Like I expected that. I did not realize that Nazguls were gonna be like one of the sleeper hits from the set that just everyone apparently loves. Well, let's add a Shieldred to the mix. I don't even, in Modern, I don't even feel bad about playing Shieldred. In Standard, Shieldred's kind of miserable. I think in Modern, Shieldred's pretty fair. Like, if you manage to win with a Shieldred in Modern, you actually probably deserve to win with it. Oh, bonus. The 9 arts definitely help, that's for sure. I dislike how Nazgul's force you to play removal to be able to deal with them. I mean, there's a lot of cards like that, though. I don't think the Nazguls are unique in that sense. Like, Ragavan forces you to play removal or else you're definitely going to lose to it. Even more so than Nazgul, I would say. So here's Nazgul's question. What's the best Nazgul's commander? You want to build 9 Nazguls. All 9. Different arts, of course. What commander would you... What commander would you use? Well, get in with the Shieldred. Do we know if the Nazguls are rarer than the typical uncommon? So I think there was a misunderstanding about this. As far as I know, Nazguls are the same rarity as any other uncommon. The difference is, I guess technically maybe we should have thought C's first. I got a Twar. Okay, that's fine. The difference is, so I believe Nazguls are the same rarity as every other uncommon. I've heard some people say, well, the Nazguls are rare than they're rarer than a rare, or as rare as a rare. I'm pretty sure what those people are actually meaning is any individual art of a Nazgul is less likely to show up in a booster pack than any given rare because of how many uncommons there are in the set, and you get 3 in a pack compared to 1 rare. But if you actually are looking for this specific art, so if you're trying to collect all 9 Nazguls or whatever, any individual art of a Nazgul is probably slightly rarer than a rare, I think is how the math works out. But I believe Nazguls in general are the correct rarity for an uncommon. They show up just the same as any other, but people, since there's 9 arts, people are looking for very specific ones, and those specific ones are actually like somewhat uncommon. If you're running Nazguls, I think the only answer is which King of Angmar? Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Wait, did they actually draw a Cascade spell? If our opponent drew a Cascade spell, game on. Etwara, bounce the Chalice. Or they're just hoping to draw one. Untaps, gets drained. I mean, actually, maybe they still just lose. Yeah, Shieldred still gets them. I believe on Reddit, some guy crunched it out in any specific Nazgul art was twice as rare as any specific mythic rare. Who is that possible? I think we could do this really quick in our minds. So there's 20 mythics. There's 20 mythics. In a booster box, you get roughly, let's say, 5 mythics. I think it's like 4.5 roughly, but you have 5 mythics. So that means it would take four boxes to open one of each mythic on average. There are, oh no. Okay, so there are 9 Nazguls. You get 3 uncommons in a booster pack. There are, I believe, 100 uncommons in the set. Is that correct? How many uncommons in Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth? Is it 100? 80 uncommons. Okay, there's 80 uncommons. So in a booster box, you're going to get 3 times 36, so 108 uncommons. I don't think that's right. Oh, actually, Yeah, I guess that would be true. So I was thinking that, yeah, I guess, so you'd get 1 of each, but you wouldn't, well, actually, now I'm not so sure, because they all have individual set numbers, right? So when they say there's 80 uncommons, when they say there's 80 uncommons in Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth, is that counting 1 Nazgul or 9 Nazguls? Like, are, whatever, 12% of the uncommons in the set Nazguls? Or is 1 out of 80 of the uncommons in the set Nazguls? I'm gonna have to research that. It might actually be that they're rarer than Mythics, though, now that I'm thinking about it. You need 26 packs to get 80 uncommons. Yeah, so in those 80 uncommons, would you get one of each Nazguls, or would you get one Nazgul? That's the question. If you get one of each, it's got to be one Nazgul, right? Or else it wouldn't be so expensive. So, if it's one of each Nazgul, then they're about the same rarity as, like, they're actually not that rare if you get one of each. On the other hand, if the answer is you get one individual Nazgul, then, yeah, they might actually be way rare than I realized just based on the art. Wait, are we going to win this? Opponent's going to 5. Opponent's going to 5, and we got turn 1 Thoughtseize Chalice or Ragavan into Waste Not Burning Inquiry. We might actually end up with a 4-1 here. Boy, if we had won that first match, we could have the 5-0. Opponent passes. All right. So, oh, another Waste Not. We might get to live the dream here. Thoughtseize you. Fire Ice, dead, gone. Well, we will take a Fire Ice. Play a Chalice on 0. Pass the turn. Okay. Next turn's going to be a bummer, because they do get to ice us, and we can't really do anything, which slows down our Waste Not plan. The old Chalice Mox Amber plan not looking great. I'm actually going to have to math out the Nazguls now. Now I'm curious at what the actual numbers look like, or at least look up the Reddit post, because I'm curious how many you actually get. A farmer needs to cross a river in a boat, can only heal himself with 1 animal. He already has 3 Nazguls with him. How does he get them across the river without the Nazgul stabbing him with a morgue knife? Asking the important questions at Hilo Chrome. Bonnet, Steam Vents, Untapped. I think our best draw is just a red source, maybe. Any land is fine. So opponent, yep, gonna Fire Ice us, tap down our land. Well, that is a red source. Everything is coming up us at the moment. Play a Ragavan. Pass the turn. About it. I mean, they can kill the monkey. We know they have the dead gone. But we have Waste Not Burning Inquiry. Yeah, kills the monkey. Sure. Opponent. The question is, do we get greedy and try to get down both Waste Nots? Opponent passes. Oh, so many Waste Nots. Well, play a Waste Not. What do you think, Chad? Do we do it or no? Do we do it or no? Do we just fire off the Burning Inquiry, or do we wait? Wait a turn? I mean, the thing is, if we do it now, we might be able to just play more of them. Fire it? I think we gotta fire it, right? I think we have to. Burning Inquiry. I think we gotta you gotta take the value when you can. Oh, this works. So we make mana, we make a zombie. We get rid of a Murktide, which isn't bad. Wow, we need any... Oh, we discarded a Gaia Reach. Gaia Reach would actually be absurdly good here. I'll play another Waste Not. Any discard effect is, like, ridiculous. Oh, I wish we hadn't lost the Gaia Reach. Keeping the Gaia Reach. This would have been Gaia Reach's savings grace. Opponent. To note, this set is 80 uniquely named rares. So only 1 Nazgul per 80. Okay. Yeah, then, so if it's 80 uniquely named uncommons, then Nazgul actually, I think, is correctly pegged at being... then I think it's actually correct that any Nazgul is... That's a good draw. That any one Nazgul is actually rarer than a rare. Get in and hit ya. Oh. They could have forced a negation. Oh, it's such a good draw. Oh. Oh, yeah, Burning Inquiry is so good here. Oh, do we wait? Maybe we just wait. Maybe we just wait. That might be the correct move. You can't play it in Historic. You're missing Burning Inquiry. But Waste Not, we've played Waste Not on Arena and like Explorer before. I am really torn. I really want this to I feel like if we do go for it, we need to... You know what? Let's wait. Let's say Meyer go. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. Maybe this is too conservative, but I feel like there's a decent chance our opponent ends up tapping out for something, and then we're clear to play this, and with 2 Waste Nots, it's so much value. Opponent gets a Forest. And... Ooh, okay. Well, all right. Blows up our Chalice. We get a land. Well, the odds of our opponent tapping out's going up because they are about to make some rhinos. All right. Opponent untaps. Well, here we go. Oh, come on. Hold on. We have a new gift sub from Archmansis to Spanky Hippie. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. Well, thin the deck. Get a Blood Crypt tapped. Untap. Thoughtseize. Bowmasters. Oh, that's even better. Well, go to combat. Go attacking. Can we get our opponent to just tap out for rhinos? That's actually what we want the most. Okay. So unless our opponent has Force Blue card, this is going to be ridiculous. Opponent. Crashing Footfalls. We're living the dream in our very last game. Opponent. Come on. If it's Force Blue card, I'm actually gonna cry myself to sleep. Opponent blocks. Sure. Oh, this is gonna be so good. So we play Orcish Bowmasters. Ping a rhino. And then, last but not least, Burning Inquiry. Bowmasters, 2 Waste Nots. Spin it to win it. Spin it to win it. Oh, so much value. Okay. So kill the rhino. Ping our opponent. Ping our opponent. Make a zombie. Make a zombie. Draw a card. Draw a card. Make some mana. Make some mana. Come on. Come on. Can we hit one more Burning Inquiry? One more Burning Inquiry. Bloodstained Mire. Crocs. Okay, Crocs is actually not bad. So make some zombies. Ping ya, ping ya, ping ya. Bloodstained Mire. Crack. Oh, wow. Crack Bloodstained Mire. Do we have a Blood Crypt? Oh, we got a Blood Crypt. Get the Blood Crypt. Play a Croxa. Make you discard. Trigger our Waste Nots. Wow, what a turn. What a turn. What a turn. Draw a card. Draw a card. 2 lands not great, but that's okay because Croc's are going to do a little escaping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get it back. Get rid of your last card. Get a 6/6. Make a zombie, make a zombie. And opponent said very cool deck. And I would agree. That was one of the coolest turns we've had in a minute. All right, here you go, opponent. And opponent scoops it up. Wow. That was a sweet turn. I mean, so that was turn 5, but that was spectacular. That's what happens. I mean, we finally did it. We've had some Waste Nots. We've had some Bowmasters. What we have not had is Waste Nots and Bowmasters going off at the same time. We finally mashed them all together, And the results were pretty spectacular. Like, it's not like we even ran that good. We drew in a couple of lands here. We could have get more, like, burning inquiries. But we went from 2 waste knots, nothing on the battlefield, to a 4/4, a bunch of zombies, a Croxit twice, emptying our opponent's hand. After they rhinoed us, that was a good one. That was a really good one. That also means... clean desktop again. That also means we ended up 4-1. Our one loss came in the first round, which means we get some treasure chests to open. Some sweet, sweet chests. One ring. That's all we want to open. We want... let's open these bonus packs first. I don't think these are anything good. I think they're random uncommons. Rising... Oh, they're actually kind of cool. Ooh, Nazguls. We're rich. We're rich. Yeah, Bear's eating tonight. CC2. 4-1. Even the cat gets to eat. Oh, wait, do you just always get a foil Nazgul? What do you think of these lands? What tier are these? So here's the real question. Obviously, if you're playing a Lord of the Rings deck, you would play these lands. Would you play these lands in a non-Lord of the Rings deck? Like, are they cool enough that you would just play them in whatever deck you want? Yeah, I will say, on Magic Online, the Nazguls are like 10 cents or something. The foil one's probably even less because people like foils, so they're not actually super expensive. But if you need them, the promo packs are good. Wow, another one. Jeez, wait. Do you just always... maybe you just always get a Nazgul in these packs. Every single pack had them. I think they're definitely cool for Lord of the Rings deck. I would play them for Lord of the Rings themes deck. I don't think I would play them outside of Lord of the Rings theme decks. But I like the map theme. All right. So here's what we want. We want the One Ring. That is the open. The One Ring currently on GoatBots, $122. Consolation prize Orcish Bowmasters, $43. Nothing else in the set over $3. Well, over $4. I guess Delayed Halfling just over $3. So that's what we want. One Ring, Orcish Bowmasters. Please, 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 Magic Gods. Chest number 1 we get. Jace's Archivist. This is a cool card. The Repeatable Wheel is a cool card. Never made it in Constructed, but it is cool. And Tyrant of Discord. 7 mana, 7/7 ETBs. Target opponent chooses a permanent they control at random and sacrifices it. If it's a non-land permanent, sacrifice this way. Repeat the process. That's kind of a cool chaotic removal spell. Why do I never play this in Commander? That seems fun. Like... So if you hit a non-land, you keep blowing things up until you hit a land, essentially. So it's 7 mana, 7/7, eventually blow up a land and blow up some random stuff along the way. All right, not valuable, though. Next up, chest number 2. Ooh, Aragorn. Unfortunately, all the other Lord of the Rings cards are pretty worthless. Or fortunately, Aragorn... Borderless is about 0.5 cents. Subjugate the Hobbits. What do you think about this card? Gain control of each non-commander creature mana value 3 or less. I guess it could be tech against like token decks in Commander. Would be good against Hobbits in specific, which I guess its name suggests. Well, all right. Next up, 3 to go. One ring. Predatory Urge and Unspeakable. We played this for Against the Odds once. It's so janky. Kamigawa's so janky. Predatory Urge. Oh, creature fight. The pre-fighting. Back in Zendikar, we didn't have fighting, but it was essentially 4-mana enchantment that you can see how it's so funny. You can see how much colors have developed in Magic. A decade ago, fighting wasn't a thing, and green wasn't really allowed to have creature removal. So Predatory Urge, it wasn't a good card, but you can see how conservative it was. It's a 4-mana enchantment. The enchanted creature, and it essentially lets it tap to fight. Like, that's a really conservative fight spell. So Wizards was just like very cautious, just dipping their toes in the water. Almost like when they went to take in Fix White in Commander, and they took in, like, the first modes of fixing white were like, people don't really like them. They're not very good. And eventually they got to the good ones. I feel this was like the early, like, not really there yet version of fight spells. And then they eventually got really good. Green's removal is attacking your opponent with a huge dude and being forced to block it. Basically, like, that's for the first half of Magic, that's how green worked. All right, 2 to go. One ring. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So there's good news. The bad news is we didn't open a One Ring. The good news is we opened a Cavern Horde Dragon. Currently 61 cents. 61 cents. That's not bad. 61 cents. Seriously though, we get a Boseiju, which Boseiju is very expensive. Last I knew it was like 30 ticks. Let's see where Boseiju's at. Oh, it's actually dropped a lot, which I guess is good overall. 13 ticks. Yeah, it was like 45 ticks back in March. So it's come down quite a bit, but still a very good open. Well, one more chest to go. Last treasure chest. Is it a one ring? It is a Danitha, Benalia's Hope. Yeah, that one never really made it. 20 play points, though. Well, this deck was pretty sweet. This deck was way, way sweeter than I expected. We actually posted a pretty good record. We ended up going 4-1. And I gotta say, so our question going into this was, is Orcish Bowmasters a worthy backup waste not? And I think the answer is yes. I think when you actually dig into it, I think I would say that yes, it actually is a worthy backup for waste not. So if you're looking for a way to make your waste not deck a little bit more consistent, I think this is a pretty good option. So I like the deck. I think Modern's in a hilarious place right now because of the One Ring. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to the Pro Tour. I'm very curious to see where the Modern Pro Tour ends up. But anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for tonight. Is it the best time to sell Bowmasters? I would say that this is the best time to sell essentially everything from the Lord of the Rings set. Like, I would say that you should sell pretty much everything because as far as we know, Wizards are going to be printing this set for the next couple of years. We know there's the holiday release. So I think that it's likely that this is pretty much the peak for Lord of the Rings cards, at least over the short term. So I would say if you open something expensive, you might as well sell it. One Ring could end up getting banned places. Bowmasters, I guess, could end up getting banned places, but mostly I think it's just going to go down because there's going to be a lot more open. And right now it's still low supply. People are hyped about it. But 6 months from now, if people are still cracking boosters, I think the price is going to go down. Like, remember, we talked about Modern Horizons 2. We talked about how that set was printed for 2 years. And the best cards in Modern, Furies, Ragavans, Urza Sagas, those cards are like, Ragavan I think is the most expensive at like $45 or something. Because Wizards printed them so much, the prices are, yeah, they're expensive, but they're not as ridiculous as they could be. So it's hard for me to imagine Bowmasters going much higher than like $40. But anyway, everyone, reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube. This means find all the old streams in the future. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff going up on there. One more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. And if you need some Magic cards, you can come over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome, and I love y'all. I hope you have an amazing night. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back on Tuesday to have some more fun. So until then, everyone, have a good one, and I will talk to you soon.